boys in our clubhouse getting high. Super fuckers. Everybody wishes we would die. Super fuckers. Here we come like a bomb. Everybody fucking run and hide.
Hey, it's the Pizza Party podcast of the new year. I'm Pan Pizza. Who are you people?
Oh, hey, it's Jim.
Izzy. Oh. No, I was like, I thought it was like Jim, Nolan, me, and then guest, but
Izzy's back.
I don't know. Everybody just goes like a bunch of wild fucking animals, just pecking at a fucking carcass, just
we need to establish what the order. I mean, do you want to go first? I thought I went first.
Jim is like the fucking leader of the wolf pack, and he like goes in front of everybody and then rips off the biggest chunk. And then he just leaves the rest of it.
It's rude. If anything,
he's a selfish wolf.
Let me go. I'm the guest.
Ah, yes, we have a guest. Who are you?
Go.
My name is SaberSpark.
Yeah.
All right, Saber, you're new. So the rules are: as soon as you get into a podcast, you find the biggest, baddest podcaster, and then you punch him in the face for dominance.
All right.
Yeah.
Virtual punches.
Who are you, Saber Sparks?
I ask myself that question every morning in the mirror. No, my name is SaberSpark. I just go by Saber. I have a quote-unquote animation YouTube channel, which is just me talking about... I mean, I'm still trying to figure it out, but as of late, I've been doing things like the What Ruined series on like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney Channel... And I'm very fascinated by just cartoons and animated movies, and I've been just chatting about that and having fun with it.
Yeah, for someone who hasn't seen one of your videos, which would be the first video to recommend to them?
I would definitely say What Ruined Cartoon Network. I had a lot of fun with that one. Funny enough, Jim is a big part of my channel. He helps me do a lot of research, and he's a good fact checker. So I got the seal of approval from Jim here.
Yeah, no, I help write and do research and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Since you're experienced in things that get ruined, I would just like to wonder what ruined the Pizza Party podcast in your opinion.
It was never good. Never.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
There's no pizza.
As long as we can keep the Emily and Stephanie singing at the end.
That doesn't even happen in every podcast.
That's literally what ruined it, in my opinion.
They don't feel like singing all the time, you know?
I was listening to a few last episodes, and there's one recently. You're like, I just wasn't feeling it. Goodbye. And
it hurts, okay? But I have two saved for now, so I can use them whenever, you know?
By the way, so you recently released a video about the Troll Hunters thing on Netflix.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to be a complete sellout?
You know, pretty good.
Why'd you bully poor AJ, have him come on to your fucking video, and then you just scream over him the whole time?
Well, I was
like what I'm doing right now.
I was like, crap, who's online? AJ's online, because you guys weren't online. Because sometimes I hit online on my Skype icon just to see who will talk to me. It's like, ooh, and AJ fell right into my trap.
Oh, no.
You gotta love the careful planning that RebelTaxi is known for.
Basically, who's the next person to call me? He's like, congratulations, you're in a new video, yes! But speaking of new videos, the next video is going to be top 10 worst of 2016 in terms of animation. And then after that, Kim Possible, the review.
Oh, nice.
What's the worst of anime? Did Norm of the North beat Powerpuff Girls? That's what I want to know.
Like, I asked a lot of people on Twitter and Tumblr, and a lot of people just recommended Norm of the North.
Yeah,
you seen that?
I didn't.
Oh, man.
I mean, the fact that it's a Rob Schneider animated movie and it looks straight to video quality says something.
I'm
surprised.
surprised.
Money.
I'm surprised it didn't go straight to video.
Yeah.
It's like, so I can't really remember it that well because I blocked it, but it was pretty horrendous. It was like, I mean, it was mostly about building real estate in the Arctic. So if you're really into that.
Wow.
Oh, you know, that's every kid's favorite subject matter.
Yeah, kids are always like, I want to learn about gentrification in the North Pole.
I think we all know the only good Rob Schneider movie is Benchwarmers.
Isn't that something?
Benchwarmers is like the saddest movie. Hey guys, we're gonna show the world how cool we are by beating a bunch of little kids at baseball, and we're grown adults.
Okay, maybe the concept was a little flawed. The fact that these grown men, these grown men,
literally a bunch of losers touring the world, beating kids at fucking Little League. It's the saddest thing I've ever seen. And they make it seem like it's like, oh wow, those guys are so noble. And so literally, when Rob Schneider was revealed to be a bully, the kid is like, I can't believe I ever looked up to you. And I'm just like, Are you for real? It's Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
You remember Benchwarmers? When did you see Benchwarmers?
I saw it a lot when I was a kid. I remember that David Spade's brother was like a shut-in, and like his character arc was like getting out and seeing the world.
This sounds like a dark indie movie. This doesn't sound like Benchwarmers. Did you see a different movie?
Rob Schneider, canonically in the Benchwarmers mythos, the
expanded universe.
He bullied a midget into fucking submission, into making sure he never left his basement ever again. This is a real movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
He basically became Chris Chan, and his mother, I think, the actress was also the lady who voiced Mrs. Puff from SpongeBob, I believe.
It was.
I think, yeah.
Who's that guy? John Lovitz, I think his name is. He was like
John Lovitz.
Yeah, no, there was this thing, like, he was, like, listing off these things that only nerds and sad people do, and he's, like, sitting while he peed, and I felt personally attacked.
Do you sit while you pee?
Yes!
Well, sometimes you want to check your phone and just have a moment of self-reflection.
It's superior. It's easier on the prostate. You get to sit down and recuperate. I unless it's a nasty gas station, I'm gonna sit down.
Yeah.
I'm also frequently a sitter.
Don't have big flopping dicks to aim. I got like a little fucking pea shooter. I can't aim that shit. Fuck you.
Oh boy.
Oh, we've mentioned Nolan's dick on the podcast.
So,
is that part of the bingo spreadsheet?
That's one of the TV tropes, I believe.
Nolan's dick.
Tropes hasn't been updated in forever, and they say I'm the only sane one, which I don't believe.
Yeah, someone please update our TV tropes page, or at least the Pan Pizza TV tropes page. Does the podcast have a TV tropes page?
And it's like a sub page. Like all of us are characters on the page.
Are we? I know we have a Wikipedia thing, like a Wikia.
Well, all of the wikis that like Pan fans make are garbage.
Well, apparently I have a crush on Larry the Cucumber, which I had to Google who Larry the Cucumber was.
Better than Larry the Cable Guy.
That's true.
Who dat?
I actually checked mine and I found it. I actually writ in my own stuff, but I wanted to make it seem like I was a fan. So like I wrote in a part where I apparently like I wrote that I'm working on a webcomic they'll never release, and I sat at home eating ice cream and crying to myself at night.
Speaking of dicks and stuff, I too also got a UTI. But anyway, yeah, I like the Benchwarmers movie. That was back when the guy who played Napoleon Dynamite had a career.
Oh god, yeah. Burger King commercials.
Well, now all he does is he plays Napoleon Dynamite parodies and cartoons. Yeah. So literally in the same month, Ben 10 Omniverse did an episode where he was like Clyde 5, which is just Napoleon Dynamite but Ben's cousin. And then the same week it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles aired, and they had the frogs, the Napoleon frogs, the ones all named after emperors or conquerors. And Napoleon the Frog was played by Napoleon Dynamite.
Do you remember the movie Monster House, where there was that guy that they go to the arcade, and it was just Bill Hader playing himself?
Or John Hader.
John Hader, yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, no, but it's the only time he doesn't look like Napoleon Dynamite, because they built like this fat guy. It was like, because all the other times in all the other movies he was in, he was just Napoleon Dynamite, and then in Monster House they actually made him look like a stoner, and although he gave the same performance.
Yeah,
so.
right. Same with Surf's Up, that Penguin movie. He was that chicken stoner who talked like Napoleon. There was this Dane Cook comedy took place inside a shopping mart, or like a Walmart sort of place, and it had Pedro playing himself. Just Pedro.
What was his big movie with Will Ferrell? What was that? That was like his biggest.
Blades of Glory.
Yeah, that was as big as he ever got, because that did pretty well.
Well, Napoleon was like that comedy wave was, that was a trend, that was a wave. I remember in high school when it came out, and like people were like, "Oh yeah, Napoleon Dynamite's the thing. Give me your tots," and then it just went away.
Everyone had a vote for Pedro T-shirt. Everyone was quoting it.
Uncle, there was a Burger King commercial recently with their cheesy tots, and this is rock bottom. You had Napoleon and Pedro at the table, like, "Give me your tots," and he was like recreating that scene from the movie, and I'm like, "Oh shit, they are out of money!" Like,
well, either they're out
better.
They're out of money, or they like cheesy tots.
For both.
Well, did you guys remember that Fox decided to, like, after 5 years, release a Napoleon Dynamite cartoon?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about
that. Was
that.
the
No, but
time,
that was literally mid-season filler. That was they had no intention of making that an actual series. They just wanted to put something in between time slots, and they were like, "Let's just do this."
Oh, it was on in 2012. That's when it came out.
Yeah, last
That's
six
episodes.
6 episodes, and it's right up there with Fox's other great 6-episode shows like Alan Gregory.
Ouch.
No, but like one of the funniest things I remember from the Napoleon Dynamite craze. This was on my local TV station back in Wisconsin, so you've never seen
I
this.
remember this. I remember this story.
I told this, but I'll bring it up again. It was this news story where this kid could do a spot-on Napoleon Dynamite impression, and it's just this whole news story about it. And then the news anchor is like, "But how long will his popularity last?" And it was this foreboding, like, creepy note to end the story on, and I'm like, damn, the kid's watching that. He's gonna, like, die. Because, like, they literally say in like the news story, he was not popular before this happened.
Oh, I bet he got beat up like the next
gonna be
week.
gone.
Real quickly, talking about, I guess, falling from grace. Okay, you all know who Brendan Fraser is, right?
Oh no,
Yes.
We're gonna bring that up. Oh no.
No, poor Brendan Fraser.
My heart breaks for him because, like, Critical did a video. He's been doing some videos about that where he's like talking about how amazing Brendan is, and there was a video in particular where Brendon, I guess, got some role on this show, and he was being interviewed by AOL.com, and in the interview, they showed a clip from the show that didn't even feature Brendon. So he's just sitting there awkwardly being like, "Yeah, I guess I'm in this." And it looks like he's on the verge of crying. And the comments were cracking me up because they're like, should we start a GoFundMe for him?
Well, I feel like what happened, because I watched, I caught Blast from the Past a couple, like, just on TV a couple weeks ago. And when I was watching, it was like, it's kind of commendable because he just commits so heavily to any of his roles. But I think when he did The Mummy and stuff, that kind of was the beginning of the end, because he's like a character kind of comedy actor, and like he had the looks, I guess, to be a lead, but he isn't really a lead, and so it kind of crumbled because no one's going to be like, Brendan Fraser is in a movie, let's go. Like, he doesn't have that potential, But like, if he's in a movie, like, think of George of the Jungle or Encino Man, like, he commits so heavily, it's like kind of amazing. Like, his performances, I'm like, wow, you just went all in. Like, you didn't give a shit. And I kind of like that about him, but I think he just, like, he did maybe the wrong career path, because I don't know if, like...
Well, he should have been a baker or something?
Or, like, he shouldn't have been the lead in the Mummy movies as much, because I think he couldn't be leads in... Like, what were leads of other movies that aren't comedies, that aren't Mummy movies, that anybody liked him in,
Mm-hmm.
I like Bedazzled.
He was getting scrubs?
Oh, I did like Bedazzled. Oh, I forgot about that, Izzy. Damn.
George of the
I like
Jungle.
it.
Back in action, my guys.
Yeah,
But-
that's true. It's still a comedy,
So-
but he was a lead in it.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about the third Mummy movie was there's a scene where they're chasing, like, the Dragon Emperor through the streets, and they shoot a rocket launcher, and it hits like a San Francisco trolley, and it explodes, and like you just see people jumping out of it on fire. Like, somehow these people survive being shot with a rocket launcher in this tiny compact room, but they had to get a PG-13 rating somehow, so they survived.
Yeah, of course.
Body parts flying everywhere.
I was excited for the Tom Cruise Mummy reboot.
Yeah!
Wait, did you see that trailer that came
Yeah,
out?
I was going to bring that up.
Oh,
The
broken
trailer, yeah, with just some of the sound effects.
Yeah.
And you just hear people going,
Yeah, I'll link to it below, but basically IMAX accidentally released a trailer of the new Tom Cruise Mummy movie without, like, the music in the background, so you just hear people, it just feels eerily quiet.
Well, you hear, like, the copy-paste of Tom's scream where he goes, ah, ah.
Although the movie itself, it's like, again, already? The Mummy reboot?
It got so many views. I'm like, do this many people care about this?
It's not, like... the Mummy Brendan Fraser movies is trying to be the universal horror Mummy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a different reboot, you guys.
Yeah.
It's not.
One day that cinematic universe is going to happen.
I mean, they've been trying to, because what's it? The Dracula Untold was the first one.
Yeah.
And now the Mummy's this one, and Russell Crowe's in it as somebody he's Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde or whatever. And then they're all going to combine and have a big team up movie eventually. So
that Dracula Untold movie.
Yeah.
The visual effects director for the opening credits came to the school I teach at.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I was really shocked about how much of it was practical effects versus like digital CGI stuff. So like they had like literally no actual, and they couldn't get the main actor to appear in it, so like they just digitally like edited his face onto a stand-in, and it's insane. They basically it's a camera like zooming in a bunch of different like semi like super slow motion, almost freeze frame like pieces of people like telling the story of the history of Dracula, and so they built a CG camera going through the whole set, and then with that information from the CG set, they had this crane that no matter what, every time it went through this track, it would go through the exact same way, through the exact same speed. So they could record the same green screen like area with like 15 different like options, like different layers. So like, just this one guy this time. Oh, just these people this time. So they had like a bunch of layers where they could like kind of like move people around if they need to and stuff like that. And it was really awesome. Like I haven't seen the movie, but the opening cinematics, I know everything about it.
Yeah, because sometimes you just hear about how awesome an intro to a movie is, but you don't actually watch it.
There's been a couple movies like that.
Although I always like when there's some sort of comic book intro to something like Tank Girl or...
Oh, actually, did you ever see the movie Ghost Ship?
No.
For there's two. There's one from the 40s, but not that one, the newer one. And the opening sequence, like, if I ever see it's coming on, I'll watch it because... I mean, should I tell everyone what it is, or no one's going to see Ghost Ship? Okay, so... I think. Okay, right? So maybe I don't know, but
like a spoof movie?
No, it's like a haunted ghost ship movie, but basically you see the ship like in the 40s or 50s or something, and everyone's dancing and everyone's fine, and then you know how like there are those like steel like beam things like wires that hold up stuff. Yeah, okay. So then this one of the steel rope things breaks and literally cuts everybody in the dance in half, but it cuts them in half so they're still holding on to one another, and then like everyone's fine, and then suddenly they all start like falling apart, and it's like all this gore and like body parts, and like somebody's like torso falls off their legs or their arm falls off. It's like so gross and disgusting, and I was like, holy shit, I'm so in for this movie. And the rest of the movie sucks and isn't as good. But like, if you could see the beginning of Ghost Ship, I really didn't even do it justice. It's like so good.
It is pretty awesome. I don't think I watched the whole movie, but I remember seeing that part. Like it was on like TV or something.
That sucks because other people starred and mainly shot this whole other movie, and no one remembers that. They just remember everyone getting cut in half in the first 2 minutes.
I only know that movie because the poster's tagline was "See Evil," but it's "C" spelled with S-E-A, like ocean.
I remember that.
Yeah. But Saber,
yes.
What videos do you have upcoming?
Well, I'm working on another What Ruins. I've been doing some research for that. It is What Ruins Saturday morning cartoons. And I talked to Jim about this a month or so ago about like, should we even like talk about it? Because it seems pretty simple, like internet. But the more we dig, the more we kind of discover
the whole FCC thing.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it, and there's a ton of history. Like that's one of the things about my videos is I get a lot of people who leave comments who are like, video starts at 1822, where I actually talk about the what room portion of it. I'm like, yeah, that's fine as long as you keep your ad block off. No,
But it's
but I feel like a lot of the history is like it has an impact on the here and now. You know, it wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the events that led up to it. And for Saturday morning cartoons, it starts all the way back in the 1950s, and I'm a sucker for a good history lesson. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think we really need Saturday morning cartoons anymore, because that was back when we didn't have like 24-hour cartoon channels all the time.
We're spoiled nowadays. We have an access to information technologies everywhere at your fingertips.
Well, it'll be hard to explain to a kid that when I was a kid and woke up for Saturday mornings, I would literally wake up way too early and sit through like a paid advertisement for some weird shampoo that came from Finland or something. And I would just sit there and be like, but I have to watch when it starts, like when Saturday morning starts. And then you'd watch the syndicated cartoons that were not officially part of the block of the Saturday morning cartoon. And then I'd even do that for Sunday morning cartoons, which was cartoons that like nobody cared about Sunday morning cartoons.
Because we were at church, Jim.
Oh, I didn't go to church.
You son of a
Sinner.
I actually only went to church. My mom only made me go to Sunday school when I was like really bad. So I didn't. so I'd be in there and they'd be like, why'd you suddenly decide to go? And I go, oh, because my mom said I had to, because I like, burned the carpet or something. And they're like, well, what do you normally do on Sunday? And go, oh, there's like this Robin Hood cartoon that I'm like really into. And they're like, look at me like, what? I was like,
imagine the child Jim has the same voice as adult Jim.
yes.
Same mannerisms. Yeah, there's kind of a cartoon I'm into.
Actually, when I went when I was a teenager, my mom made me go, and I was like 15, and I'd seen the movie Midnight Cowboy, and this guy who was teaching wore a cowboy hat, and for some reason I decided to keep pestering about the movie Midnight Cowboy, which by the way is like not appropriate, is like the only X-rated movie to win Best Picture, which is it's a really good movie, but I kept asking him like questions. I was like, so how many times have you seen Midnight Cowboy? And he's like, just once. Anyway, so Jesus. I go, another question. So Dustin Hoffman in Midnight Cowboy, what did you think of his performance? And he was like getting more and more annoyed that this 15-year-old was bringing up a movie that he should not have even known about, and like kept going like, could we stop? Could we just talk? And then I think after that, my mom was like, they hate you, you're not going back. So
but that's like the defining Jim moment. That's like when Jim has his own movie. Like it's literally like it's just a dolly shot of like the teacher writing on the chalkboard, and then they ask the question, and then it's like a shot of this kid raising his hand in the air, and they're like, "Yes, Jim," and then like it pans down, and it's Jim, and then you just ask the question. That's how you get introduced in your movie.
Oh, the movie?
The pre-credit sequence.
Oh, yeah. Cool. I hope it's good. I hope they get somebody good to play me.
Brendan Fraser.
I was hoping they get Zac Efron. They just dye his hair red, and I can.
That would actually work.
No shit.
I could pretend I'm like Zac Efron ripped for a little bit.
It'll work.
Well, if you're executive producer, I think you get to make that call.
Oh, cool. Well, I'd like at least an associate producer credit.
But you guys want to get into the news?
Oh, boy.
Okay.
This is CNN.
News. First, we have the Fan Chunk playlist. If anybody has any YouTube videos related to Rebel Taxi or the podcast, email them to me at rebeltaxi@yahoo.com, and I'll put them in the YouTube playlist linked below. And we
Challenge.
Huh.
I want to see someone submit stuff where it's the podcast, but everyone but Pam in the artwork. just so I can see if you would actually put that in your videos.
It's like, what the well, if I put it in the video, people are like, who are these people? Like, there's going to be people who don't watch the podcast are like, who are these people with this fan art? That's why I never put any Loki IRL fan art in the fan art things, because it's like, they don't know this.
Well, why don't you... Wait, Japan, isn't that like a really good opportunity to advertise your webcomic? Like,
I guess so.
If you show the fan art...
advertise your webcomic more.
And then immediately afterwards being like, check out, like basically make your own commercial in between your commercial breaks.
Yeah. I mean, I thought about that, but it's like, I'm not satisfied with episode 2. Episode 3, I'll get it right. It's gonna stand on its own.
Sure.
You'll all see Loki IRL issue 3. It'll work this time.
That's a really bad business decision, and I think you're being very insecure.
Okay, well, 'cause one episode, like, okay, first off, well, with issue 2, you kind of need to read issue 1 to understand it, sort of. But issue 3 is gonna be standalone, so it's like people can jump into this one and it'll be fine. It's like a pilot episode of a show. Yeah.
No, pilot one's usually the first one. Don't you know anything? I thought you were
Well, they don't. Well, not all TV cartoons go through the origin the first episode. You know, you save that for like season 5 or whatever.
I feel like it's more common now for the pilot episode to be the first episode, but like back in the day, it was usually the second episode was the pilot episode.
Yeah,
because the executives wanted to see what the show would be like a normal like production schedule.
Oh.
I know that's as early as Ben 10, because I know in Ben 10 the second episode is the first one. So if you ever noticed, they reintroduced the characters like in a finite way in the second episode. It's because that was the first time they were animated.
Or even I think regular show did the one where it's like their first day, but it's like season 2, and half the animation looks different in certain scenes than others. And you're like, what's going on? Like, why would you air this now? But it kind of works better for the flow, because it gets you more into the flow just more naturally if you do it right, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
So
that reminds me, like, I'm reviewing Kim Possible, and I noticed, like, there's several episodes where, you can tell that they're out of order, because, like, I'm watching these in order according to the iTunes and DVD rips and stuff. But, like, there's some episodes where the principal has, like, blondish hair, and other episodes where he has brown hair, and they keep switching back and forth, and there's times where it's like, who's this guy? Oh, that's Dr. Draken. He's a wanted criminal.
I gotta throw something in there. So I was on Co, and I saw this thread about, like, cartoon food, and one of the pictures this one post was the nacho. And I'm like, holy shit, that has to be like a choking hazard, because you got a tortilla with like nacho chips wrapped, and with cheese, and I'm like, you're gonna choke on that chip if you bite that thing. I don't know. It just wasn't very practical. It bothered me.
Is there any cartoon foods you would actually eat?
Yes, those little meat sticks from Dragon Ball, or anything from Miyazaki.
Yeah, Miyazaki food. Like, how could you not mention that?
It looks better than real food.
It does.
I mean, I would turn into a pig by eating all that food. I was like, I would totally do that.
No.
Just an American buffet.
If anybody remembers the Comedy Central show Moonbeam City, the Super 80s one, there was this one hot dog called the Glitter Dog, and it looks fucking amazing. It's like this weird transparent plastic hot dog that's pink and with glittery, and it's like, there's no way that could ever be edible, but it looks delicious.
Send me a picture. I want to see it.
I will when after this. Yeah, but now we can get into the news.
This is CNN.
So, that Spider-Man cartoon on Disney XD, it's over. Now we got a new one called, well, we don't know what it's called, but it's going to feature Peter Parker, Spider-Gwen, and Miles Morales. It's a superhero group with Spider-Man. It's the two other Spider-Mans.
Why not include Spider-Ham?
Yeah.
Spider-Ham?
Yeah, the most important Spider-Man figure in the universe.
Is it so they can have two Spider-Man shows on at once? Is that the real idea?
I think they're going to cancel one and replace it with this, pretty sure.
Which I will never forgive Ultimate Spider-Man for replacing Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think no one liked it for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, even if it wasn't replacing Spectacular Spider-Man, let's be real, Ultimate Spider-Man isn't very good.
There is so much. Okay, so from a design standpoint, I can't stand it because, like, Spectacular Spider-Man, if you looked at the two, Spectacular and Ultimate, and you go, which one is the more comedy-based show where it pulls a Lizzie McGuire and the character stops real time? You know, that's the thing that Saved by the Bell character does. The freeze ability where he stops, breaks the fourth wall. You would not choose Ultimate Spider-Man. You'd be like, no, that's the more serious one. Its design does not fit being such a comedy-based show in comparison to, say, like Spectacular Spider-Man, which is more loose and cartoony in design, but it takes the it respects the audience. Spectacular. Even in like season 2, episode like 10, Ultimate Spider-Man still going, "Hey, I'm Peter Parker. I'm secretly Spider-Man." I'm like, you think the audience is too stupid to learn by season 2 that these two characters are the same. You have to address it still.
But now that era is over, and we got a new Spider-Man cartoon with a girl Spider-Man and a black Spider-Man.
I mean, this might be Disney, because they've long said they want Miles Morales to be big enough that they can have him have his own movie. But I know they have sanctioned kind of things on the Spider-Man movies where it has to be Peter Parker, he has to be straight, like all this weird I think that came out in the Sony hack and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think trying to do a Miles Morales cartoon sounds like what Marvel's wanted to do, which is free up the character and use the Miles Morales interpretation eventually in probably 10 to 20 years. It's kind of like the long game of letting the kids growing up now having their Spider-Man be Miles Morales. And so then when they're like a little older, they can make a Miles Morales movie, theoretically. Yeah. That's kind of what they're doing.
That is that Donald Glover can't be Spider-Man if it's like 20 years in the future.
I know. That does bug me.
Well, actually, Donald Glover got to play Miles Morales in Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh, he did?
Yeah. There was an episode where he guest starred as Miles.
I know he's in the new Spider-Man Homecoming, but apparently a lot of people have brought up no one knows what he's who he's playing.
It's Miles.
I mean,
Miles
no one
per hour. Yes.
No one knows.
Tales movie's happening.
No one knows. I think he has something to do with Vulture, but I've heard that from a bunch of journalists who keep saying who is he playing? And it's a little weird that no one knows. And he was such a high-profile hire, so it might be nothing, or it might be something.
It's probably Childish Gambino plays at the homecoming party.
Oh, yeah, that would be funny. They just have one shot of him with the Vulture, and they're like, "That's fine. We'll just to throw people off."
Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, the Childish Gambino plays the end credits. Well. Done. Fixed it. There you go.
I know nothing of these Spider-Man characters. What the heck's Spider-Gwen?
Deadpool.
That's
okay. Gwenpool? Is that a different character?
No, no, wait. I'm thinking of Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is the female Deadpool in the comics, right? Now, the fourth wall breaking thing. Does Spider-Gwen break the fourth wall? I don't remember. All I know is her costume's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
So, I guess other news. Despicable Me 3 starring Trey Parker as the villain of that movie.
Happy birthday to you.
Watching that trailer is like learning your older brother figure is as full of shit as your parents are. It was like...
Maybe he did it for his kids.
I was like, every time I watch that trailer, I'm like, a part of me dies. Knowing that, every time you're like, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they'd never sell out, except for basketball or something. And then I see him in Despicable Me 3, and I'm like, there's no way. This just sucks that he's in this. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't think it's that bad, Jim.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Well, you're old.
I have not seen the trailer.
It's time. It's time, Pan. You know the clip to break out.
Fuck, you're old.
Yay.
Oh, the Deadpool thing?
Yes, my girlfriend, Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
I just... Yeah, your girlfriend. Good one, Pan. That's a good one.
20, so
hey, audience, laugh it up here. Laugh it up. Come here.
Shut up. Shut up.
A little woo in the background.
With a really subtle... Pan's a loser.
Look, there's still a chance.
It's a new year, Pan. You'll be fine.
Wait. There's still a chance you could date a fictional character?
Well, okay, well, not the actress, but
VR, virtual reality.
Hey,
no.
We had to explain this to Nero's Q. We're not explaining this again.
What are we explaining?
I was contacted by Nero's, by the way.
Oh, what?
Yeah. He sent me an email, and he was like, I went, because I watched his videos and your podcast with him and the entire deal with the Powerpuff Girls and stuff. And, a month ago, I got an email from him, like, it was long, and he's like, I want you to watch the Powerpuff Girls and reconsider, because I made a Powerpuff Girls video too, and I just didn't even reply. I'm like, I was honored that he emailed me. I'm like, oh, it's Nero's, yeah. But I'm not going to like pursue this or anything because
he messaged you just to say, hey, can you watch the show, please?
Yeah, he's like, I give him credit. He sounded pretty genuine, and it wasn't like he was insulting me or anything. He was just saying like, yeah, you should watch the show. The episodes are good now. And I'm like, no, I'm good.
Does he write for them or work for Powerpuff? Like, that's what I'm starting to think. Like,
he's secretly the PR team.
Like, that he still cares about this thing that even everyone who hated it moved on from. He's still like, no, it's a good show. I won't let this go. Like, oh my god.
Like, the Powerpuff Girls need to, like, invite him to, like, Cartoon Network and let him visit the cast and crew and whatever.
And they'll be like, look, dude, we don't even think this is good. And go, no, I'll show you the episodes.
Come on, guys. You gotta believe. We gotta bring the band back together.
I like to think it's like a Perfect Blue situation where he's like the creepy stalker, and then the Powerpuff Girls are like the hallucinations that talk to him, like, yeah, online bully these people, Neros. Come on, you can do it. I love you. And then he's just bathed by the glow of his computer screen and nothing else. And he's just breathing heavily, like.
Oh my god.
Let's start a petition or something like, get Nero's Q a visit to Cartoon Network so he can meet the cast and crew.
Nero's buddy, if you're listening to us right now, please, we'll start up this petition. Get you there, we promise.
Yes, I'm kind of serious because like he's been through some hard times, so it's like let him, someone at Cartoon Network contact him, let him have his time to shine.
Yeah, but also please explain the difference between actors and their characters first.
It's like, wait a minute, you guys don't actually save the world before bedtime?
That might take a good 20 minutes, so just to have a good block of time for that.
Wait. What would be the best way to introduce the concept that actors and characters aren't the same person by having him finally voice a character on the show?
Oh my gosh, it'll be like the Wall-E T episode of Teen Titans Go, the show I watch.
Wait, who's Wall-E T?
Yeah. You should have been watching Teen Titans Go like I do to know who that is. But basically there was I think it was a Make-A-Wish episode where the Teen Titans brought over some little kid to be in an episode. And although he doesn't talk within the episode, but they're just like, Wall-E T's just very judgmental towards the Titans, saying, yeah, you guys suck compared to the other Titans. But there's a scene where they're trying to figure out what Wall-E likes, and they put him in front of a TV screen showing like the best of clips of Teen Titans Go, and he has like a dial saying yes or no if he likes it or not. But the one that gets the most yeses is the scene where Raven is dancing.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Where it's clear this kid is like thirsting for some Raven. It's like, wow, that could be me. Damn.
You know what? I feel bad because occasionally I'll catch up with My Little Pony. And that's a show that does a lot of the Make-A-Wish Foundation requests where they'll have like voices on the show. And I feel bad because like watching the show has, decent voice acting. And then you just hear this awful voice come out and I'm like, oh, Make-A-Wish. And then after the episode I find out, it's like, oh yeah, there it is, Make-A-Wish. Which, it's cool. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that, and I think it's sweet of them to do it. But it's pretty obvious. If anything, it shows you the hard work voice actors have to go through to perfect their art.
Oh, this reminds me, a long time ago when Kids Next Door was still going, there was a contest saying, hey, you could be in an episode of Kids Next Door. And that they ran that contest, and it was like a year later when we finally saw the results. And I don't know, there's this episode where they're escorting like the school president on a school bus, and they say, is the outside clear? And some random kid is just looking outside and gives a thumbs up saying it's clear. And they drive off in the bus, and that kid shows up again to give a thumbs up at the screen. It's like, yep, I can tell that's a freaking cameo by that one kid. That has to be that contest from a year ago. Like, I was waiting for that contest to pop up, and it's like, I know it's that. That's it right there. Yeah. But what were we oh yeah, Despicable Me 3.
I like Steve Carell. I like Gru. It's not going to be terrible, but it's not going to be great. That's my prediction.
I liked the first one. I was okay with the second one. I don't really care about this third one.
I mean, I like them. The Despicable Me movie's alright. I was just disappointed to see, like, I never thought Trey Parker would do like a 80s dancing supervillain. I was just like very like surprised that, because the only thing they've really done that's not directed or written by them is Basketball, and they did that because of the director involved, and that they just signed on for because of Cannibal the musical, not because of South Park. So I was just surprised that he would do it. I'm not like, I don't know, I need to get over it, so I'm sure I will by the time it comes out.
If you look up pictures of Trey Parker on Google, he always looks miserable.
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
It's
oh god, you're right.
I'm gonna make the podcast image a picture of Trey Parker.
Because he I mean, it sounds like he's just kind of stuck in this thing where like he can make a ton of money for the rest of his life doing the show, but I've gotten the impression they've been sick of it like a lot of times.
I'm sorry we put in storylines, please. We'll go back to episodic next season. Just leave us alone.
Oh,
I don't want to make this show anymore.
So I just watched the trailer, and man, it's really weird to hear Kyle's dad.
Yeah.
In Despicable Me.
Yeah.
But next bit of news. Did anybody see the movie Sing?
Yes, I did.
I watched the trailer. That's pretty much good enough, right?
From the creators of Despicable Me and Minions.
The lady in aisle 6, that was awesome.
Sing.
Okay, what'd you think of it, Jim?
You know, for not to make this the Jim shits on Illumination podcast, but
Do it.
It's fine. It's just very Illumination, where it's very like kind of like corporately approved kind of fun movie. But it's good in that, you know. I don't hate it. Did you like the Scarlett Johansson character, didn't you?
Fuck you, Jim. Fuck you.
Did you?
Yes, the porcupine punk girl. Shut up, everyone, please.
Sorry.
But I like how the movie was mostly just characters just hanging around, just doing what they normally do throughout their day.
Yeah.
Although,
I think, what were you gonna say, sir?
Oh, Lou Tunes pointed out in his review, they didn't really. There was really no sense of unity at the end. You know, like they never did a song together. These characters were never interacting with one another. Like they're all kind of separate. You know?
Yeah, that's true. I thought it was weird. I mean, the one thing I like about Illumination is they know how to cast their celebrity voices. Like everyone was well cast, but I which I kind of liked. It was like it gave them more distinct personalities. And although I accepted Seth MacFarlane in this, I guess that's their new thing, is get people who do non-family friendly cartoons to do them. You know, like Louis, well, I guess Louis C.K. in Secret Life of Pets. I think I like Secret Life of Pets more though. It was a bit stronger.
Yeah.
All I know is that I fucking hate all of the animal designs, every single one of them.
Yeah, they're all pretty. Like that elephant. I'm looking at him just now. The elephant one looks really awful.
Yeah.
Well,
The elephant. The elephant was
Yeah.
weird because it's not Ariana Grande, and I thought it was until I got home and was like, "Wait, I don't even know who that person is who voiced it." But then what's confusing is Ariana Grande has a song on the soundtrack of Sing, and then has someone casted in the movie who sings just like her. So it was very confusing, that whole thing.
Ouch, that's got to be insulting. You're not good enough for the rip-off Pixar movie.
Yeah, but
Well, the trailer was more than enough for me. I loved how during the trailer the gorilla dad's like, "How do I end up with a son like you?" And not even 10 seconds later, he's like, "That's my son! That's my son!" It's like, well, there you go, resolved. Okay.
I mean that is pretty much that whole arc.
Yeah.
No, what they should have done is they should have done the Dead Poets Society route, where the dad is like, "I'm sending you to fucking remedial criminal school," and then the son just stares out of his bedroom window, grabs his dad's pistol, and just fucking kills himself.
Jesus.
This ain't that kind of movie, Nolan.
Harambe 2.0. That's bringing back a dead meme.
Did you see that SNL Dead Poet Society skit where they do the "Oh Captain, My Captain" and kids stand up on the desks, and then there's a ceiling fan and one kid gets decapitated and like blood goes everywhere.
I thought you were gonna say one of the desk like crumbles, but that's a lot better.
It's like really good.
Serrated ceiling fans.
I think I'm bringing up a lot of decapitation this episode.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed the movie. I liked it better than Secret Life of Pets.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. It's like an enjoyable movie. It's just like Illumination never aspires for anything more than what they do, and I guess that's fine. You know.
Yeah.
That studio is literally the embodiment of my work ethic.
What? That's Nolan. That's the meanest thing you've ever said. Sorry, that was mean. Yeah, I mean it wasn't a great movie.
I mean, like, Secret Life of Pets was the same story as Toy Story 1 and 2.
No, yeah, it's very predictable in that.
Yeah.
But Sing's the same way. I mean, Sing's like, that movie's been done a million times before. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, I mean, they're very good at what they do, but it's just like, it's kind of like in this animation climate, it's kind of like, okay, so you guys are going to be the ones who sell lots of DVDs or I guess... Not
Make
DVDs.
some money.
Yeah, I guess, sell lots of merchandise and have Kmart specials and stuff. That's like good at.
Kmart specials?
We're like, I don't really go to Kmart that much, but like when, they have like a big display and Kmart's like, hey, buy Sing, and,
Sing's a movie that I will watch on a flight. That's it.
Yeah.
I actually watched Zootopia on a flight.
Oh, what was that like? That's a good movie.
I was going to California to see all my friends, and they offered free movies, and I watched that and the live-action Attack on Titan movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, but the funny thing was, the Attack on Titan movie was censored, half censored, and what I mean by that is all of the gore, the violence was not censored, but all of the language was. There was a line in the movie of this like soldier saying, "This is hell," but instead the subtitles read, "This is heck."
Wow. As he's getting his head ripped off or something, right?
As people are getting like eaten and brutally like massacred, he says this is heck.
I thought you meant to put little blur marks over like the crotches of the Titans or something.
No, they don't censor the violence at all. Like you see Aaron getting eaten by a Titan and like going down his esophagus, like half his leg chopped off, and Glorious like 360 plane screen.
What the fudge?
The subtitle's not matching up to what it says because they censored it. I remember a very immature child that was watching Rurouni Kenshin. Like I was really young, and I found the Samurai X DVD, and the subtitles are separate. Like they're the Japanese translated subtitles, not the audio impaired subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
And like in the audio clip, it's a curse word. I think it was like heck or hell or something. But then, like, in the subtitle, it was like, "You little shit," and like, I remember as a kid finding that like fucking hilarious. That like it wasn't even the same cuss word, but it was a different one. And for whatever reason, like that blew my mind because I was like, "That's not even close to what they're actually saying." But I didn't know subtitles or anything like that, or Japanese.
But that reminds me in Suicide Squad when the skeleton guy Diablo, like he at the very end he says "Estás chingado, güey," which translates out to "You're fucked, man." But the subtitles for that scene says "You're screwed, man." So close enough. But next topic, Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Let's do this.
Trust the Force.
In 10 days.
This is our chance to make a real difference. Are you with me?
All the way. Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Rogue One spoilers. Skip to 1 hour, 10 minutes, 50 seconds. Skip to 1 hour, 10 minutes, 50 seconds.
Alright, did anyone see Rogue One?
I did.
I also did.
Are you guys excited for Rogue 2?
So you didn't see Rogue One?
Well, yes, I saw it.
Well,
You sounded embarrassed.
I'm just asking when's Rogue 2 coming out, Like, did they announce Rogue 2 yet? I want to see
mean,
these characters and other things,
Did you leave the theater early? Or?
Yeah, hey, so Rogue One is about how they got the Death Star plans and wanted to kill Vader or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, how was it?
I mean, I enjoy it, but I don't think it was as friendly as Force Awakens, as welcoming. It's kind of more of a let's do the mission type of movie. So
Characters are stupid. I'm just gonna say.
Okay, that sums it up.
No, serious. Like it's like I there's some characters who I cared for. I like the robot. I liked Asian blind guy Jedi dude, but like I just felt like there's so many unnecessary characters in this movie, and I don't know. I just didn't really care. I didn't care about the characters. I didn't really care about the first two acts. The third act was great with the battle. Only because that was eye candy. I'm a sucker for a good space fight. But, I mean, and a lot of folks are getting bent out of shape about, like, oh, man, Grand Moff Tarkin, it looks awful. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You guys think it's bad. It's not that bad, all right? It's actually pretty good. You're being nitpicky.
Oh, wait, the
CG
Peter
face,
Cushing?
Not horrible. It's not perfect, but it's not bad.
I mean, it wasn't... Leia's face was really bad. But his face, Leia's face, which must be weirder. I saw it before Carrie Fisher died, but if I had seen it after, that must have been like, blah, like you're gonna mess with the dead. But
Jesus.
But like the Peter Cushing thing, it bugged me the first time, but I saw it again and it was less noticeable. But I think it freaked me out more because, despite like reading movie news all the time, I was completely unaware of that. So I think that kind of just shocked me because I knew about Darth Vader. I didn't know about the 2 seconds of Leia or whatever. But like that was just like, I was like, wait, what the hell? Like Peter Cushing's that? And most people who I saw it with like freaked out when he was on screen.
So they just screamed.
It was just like, I heard people going like, what the fuck? Like people were just confused. Like it's just more just like very surprising, which I'm surprised apparently it was known, like there were stories about it, but I must have missed them or they never became that big. But it was a little weird. I mean, but they got permission from his family and all that to do it. And so it was a little odd. And I think I would have liked them to have maybe minimized all that stuff and like, maybe just have like his head in there and like just like one scene, but even the Darth Vader stuff I didn't really love either.
Vader looked okay, so maybe I'm being nitpicky, but his helmet looked really big, and his voice sounded kind of quaky. I'm like, James, what's going on, man?
Well, he's getting older, but I think it's so like sometimes your voice just changes because he did it like Star Wars was 40 years. Yeah, 40 years ago
that's
this
fair.
year. And it's so his voice is going to change. But I think the other thing is the guy who played Darth Vader in the original trilogy, who had the suit on, was not in the new one. They just got a stuntman. And it might sound weird, but if you see like the Jason movies or monster movies, there's a huge difference between certain Friday the 13th based on if Kane Hodder did it or certain other people did it. And it's noticeable. So I think like, it was noticeable to me that guy just didn't have the presence to play Darth Vader. And it's like kind of a thing you have or you don't.
Yeah.
And that guy just didn't have it. And I get like the looseness of the suit and stuff and, what they were trying to do with it. But I just didn't think he worked.
Could I also play devil's advocate though and say maybe the direction is also...
No, I think that movie was saved in the editing. Because the direction wasn't amazing. Gareth Edwards isn't great. He's kind of a not a great choice. They needed a stronger director.
The action looked great. I mean, there's a couple of like little, I don't know. These are nerdy complaints where I thought it was funny the rebels running around on the beach, and all of a sudden there's like 17 AT-AT walkers, and I'm like, where did the fuck they come from? Like,
how they get there so fast?
Yeah, it's like in the Empire, like you see them in the distance, and it's like, ooh, here they come, but they just instantaneously showed up, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I thought the midway of the movie was just freaking boring. Like, I got confused. Like, wait, why are we gonna go kill that guy again? Like, he already built it. What's the point of killing him specifically?
But my girlfriend was a good point about how like the big plan is her dad put in the plans to like, yeah, you can blow up the Death Star with this little like whatever, exhaust port. Shouldn't there be some other engineers on this multi-trillion-dollar project going, hey, this is kind of weird. Why are we building this right here?
It's an exhaust port.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It doesn't overheat.
I mean, that was a huge retcon to be
I mean, do you know how to engineer a frickin' spaceship like that?
I know I'm smart enough to not make the same mistake 3 times over.
Fuck.
They're like, we should stop, like, I don't know, building a secret core power thing. I don't know. Like, I give some credit to the First Order, because at least this time they put like some metal sheets over the generator, which the X-Wings just blew through in The Force Awakens. But I don't know. I like the movie. Yeah. I understand that Disney's playing it safe. Force Awakens was safe. That was based on A New Hope. Rogue One, A New Hope prequel. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say playing it safe. I mean, it's still... I felt it was still pretty risky just doing this weird sort of actual war movie with characters you're not familiar with exactly.
I mean, it killed them off, just in case.
I was kind of surprised that they would do this one as the first spin-off, because it's like the Han Solo one has a lot more interest than Rogue One.
I don't want a Han Solo.
Nah.
No, I don't think a lot of people... I think a lot of people want it more than they'll admit. Like, they'll go see it because it's a name, and I think they do it right with the Lord and Miller and all that, I have some faith in it. I mean, no one thought the Lego movie was going to be good.
I want an Admiral Akbar movie. That's it. Like, I really loved how the Calamarians in this movie, man, they were like hungry for war. Like at the war council, they're like, "So should we attack it?" We should now. Now. And they were the first ones to show up. Like their ships were ready.
Yeah. Oh, my favorite part was when they were all escaping and like a giant Star Destroyer just walks right in and just just crushes everyone that was trying to go into hyperspace.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Just like, what did I miss?
There's a funny comic I saw on Tumblr where it had like, because that was Vader's Star Destroyer when it shows up, and like it had like some guy going, "Lord Vader, they're down on the beach. We could go down there right now and stop them." And then like said like beach, and it like kept zooming on Vader's helmet, and then it goes back to, "I hate sand. It gets everywhere." And then he's like, "Nah, we'll stay up here."
That's why Obi-Wan stayed in a desert planet. He'll never think to look there.
No, I don't want to go. Isn't that weird that like Vader built a clubhouse on Mustafar, like the place we got like chopped up? He's like, "I'm gonna build my house here."
Oh, yeah, lava pit.
Yeah, that he has like a weird like Masters of the Universe castle. I thought that was a little like, I was like, all right, that's cool. I mean, some of this was, if you saw the Red Letter Media one, where they're like, it's kind of more like, I'm glad you did this, but I'm less happy with what I think I'm not in love with what I got, I guess, with this movie.
Oh, I wanted to see a scene where like it zooms in the computer and you just see this Dropbox file transferring with the Death Star like plans. Come on, do it faster.
I did like that it was older Star Warsy technology.
Yeah.
With like that, it looked like they took like a Betamax tape of the Death Star plans, and like, but a lot of it, I think that movie was trying to be like Guns of Navarone and like old like mission movies, and those are like kind of light on interesting characters. They're more like, isn't this mission interesting? And while I was watching, I was like, I mean, that's cool for only me and a bunch of old people, but like for everyone who's young, they're like, where's my fun characters? Like all these people are depressed, and
yeah.
It was cool.
Because I didn't know much about these characters, but I feel it was a good remake of Magnificent Seven.
Yeah.
Wait,
I can't believe they remade that twice this year.
Do it again. Magnificent 2017.
I mean,
yes.
Were there 7 of them?
We don't know.
One. Okay, there was girl, guy, love interest, Chinese guy,
Chinese guy's
other
husband.
guy with Chinese guy, robot.
Imperial Lin-Manuel.
Oh yes, the pilot. That's 6.
And then Forrest Whitaker kind of teased us. Save the rebellion, save the dream. Never see that in the movie.
The thing about Magnificent Seven, though, was all about personality. So I wish they had actually done that. Because that, or I guess, you know, if we're gonna go way back, Seven Samurai is all about like each character has a distinct personality, and Rogue One doesn't do that, or even Suicide Squad fails at that too. It's like kind of funny because like if you watch like The Dirty Dozen or something, like you leave and you could probably tell me who each of those guys are. And in Suicide Squad and in Rogue One, it's more about, well, Suicide Squad's got a lot of other problems, but like Rogue One, you kind of, you know, the robot and you know the blind Jedi guy, and that's kind of it.
That's it. Yeah, the K2 was the only one I really cared about when, you know, spoilers, when he died. And I don't know, everybody else, like, I felt like the Asian guy with the gun, you could have replaced him and actually put Forrest Whitaker or his character in there instead, because I wanted to see more about him. Like, I was talking to my girlfriend about this yesterday, about how it would have been better if, let's say, Jin was part of, like, some extreme terrorist group because she's being raised by this guy. Then she meets the rebellion and sees the other side of the coin. And then there's some kind of conflict with that of her, like, well, do I leave my, you know, my stepdad or not stepdad, whatever, just whatever. I don't know. There's more they could have done. I feel like they played it safe because they just wanted. The toys are everywhere right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Is anyone gonna buy a toy of frickin' whoever these characters are?
Probably. I mean, I think the problem, that director, he's really good with certain sequences, like in his Godzilla, like that one sequence is really cool, but building up to that sequence is not really the strong suit of the movie. And like it's like he and watching Godzilla again was like really a way worse experience. So I think
almost as bad as Bryan Cranston's Japanese. You know?
Yeah, but I think Rogue One, I'm curious to see it in like a year if I even like it as much. But I liked it more the second time. But I don't think I don't know. It wasn't the slam dunk that Force Awakens was.
I don't know. Well, at least the final battle was cool.
It was.
So it's exactly like Godzilla.
That was really cool. Yeah, it's like, you're like, wow, that was so cool. And you kind of forget that the first part of the movie you weren't as into, and you're like so high on it. And then like 5 minutes later, you're like, oh, wait a minute.
That's the director's trademark. The first half is garbage, and the second half is amazing.
I mean,
so it balances out to an okay movie.
It works out because you're leaving and you're all jazzed. And if like there was a news crew, they'd be like, "What'd you think?" You go, "Oh man, the end sequence, it was so cool." And then like a minute later, you're like, "Shit, did I just say that on TV? Fuck,
damn,
I didn't even like it that."
That hammerhead ship that like rammed the Star Destroyer, that was badass. I'm like,
cool.
That's very symbolic of what the rebellion is, like making the most of what you got because you don't have much, but you make it count. And then I like the Star Wars Battlefront Darth Vader kill streak where he's just fucking everyone's shit up.
I actually liked seeing the X-wing fighters from New Hope.
Yeah.
That was cool. I didn't know.
No Porkins, but you know,
it does take place basically 10 minutes before A New Hope. So
so
it's
cool.
justified.
Keep the engines running.
Isn't Biggs was in it too? I think
Biggs, Red Leader. God, who else?
Wedge. I don't think was because that
they mentioned his name.
Well, that actor won't come back.
Listen,
he wants nothing to do with Star Wars anymore.
Oh,
what an asshole! He was the coolest character.
He's Ewan McGregor's uncle, and they came to. Apparently, they approached him and were like, "Hey, you know, we're like kind of contacting everybody," and he was just like, "Yeah, you know, I kind of did it, and I'm done, and thanks." And I was like, "Wow, Wedge, damn,
you can't really use him in Rogue One because he's older now, so you have to ask like permission."
Well, yeah, but to use someone's footage. It's a whole. I read a bunch of articles about the Peter Cushing thing, and basically, if you as a company own the rights to a performance and a movie, you technically can use it, but most of the time they legally try to clear it with whoever's alive or the estate of the person, just to be like, okay, we're cool, because they don't want anyone to go off into the press and be like, they used my dead dad footage and I didn't know about it and all this stuff. So they try to like smooth the landing, and I think if Wedge doesn't want a part of it, they're probably not going to use him unless they come up with some agreement. But they have talked to Ewan McGregor, and he said he's going to come back. So
he'd be great for a young Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. I'd love that.
They're saying they'll do one.
Doesn't the fact that 20th Century Fox owns the original movies, doesn't that make things more complicated?
Well, there is a thing with that, because apparently Gareth Edwards says that Disney is sitting on a 4K restoration of the original Star Wars. And it wasn't said if it's a special edition one or the original cut, but apparently they're sitting on because they do. You're right, they do own.
I thought Lucas said no to that. I thought he said one of the conditions for the contract is you can't mess with the old movies. I thought.
Well, they didn't add anything, but he messed with it. So I guess the condition would be. I've heard they want to release like the untampered with version or the
4K
like
version of the Star Wars Christmas special.
Or like,
yay!
I mean, maybe I don't know about that. Would be. I think they should. They'd make some money. on it. But like apparently they haven't. And Gareth Edwards has seen it, and they did 4K restoration. Some footage he used in the movie. So apparently they're into doing that one day. But Disney owns Empire 2. Revenge of the Sith. They don't own the original. So apparently, and 20th Century Fox and Disney don't exactly like each other. They're kind of like China and America, I guess. Is the best way. Figure out which one's which. You can do that on your own time.
Vote now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Disney is also sitting on that Star Wars Detours, the parody Star Wars cartoon that they won't release for some reason, starring Seth Green.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, man, that sucks. Like, because anytime someone's like, what happened to Seth Green? I always remember, like, he worked on a show that no one's seen, and they made 40 episodes.
Jesus. Fuck. Okay, well, I remember hearing, like, some theory that since Disney wants to start introducing a new generation to Star Wars, they don't want to just open with a parody cartoon with jokes that the kids aren't going to understand, and if they open with a parody, then the kids aren't going to take the actual movie seriously.
I mean,
so
I get it, but to me, it's like, but somebody made like 40 episodes. Like, just put it somewhere. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's just not making revenue. Like, that's your plan. You could stick it on Netflix.
This is news to me. I had no idea about this.
Yeah, Star Wars Detours.
What the?
By Seth Green.
It was like, I think Screen Crush did a story on it, and that's how it broke because everyone was.
I remember they released a trailer a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and I was like, when's that coming out?
I mean, it's a little weird that they'd be against it because so much of Force Awakens is dependent on seeing all the other movies.
Yeah.
So it's not like any of their movies haven't been standalone kind of things. So I feel like they could release. I mean, I don't think it'll be very good, but I feel bad for anyone who worked on it to make. Like, it's one thing if you made 6, but 40, like,
damn.
What?
Yeah.
That's a lot for a show that I guess it was going to be syndicated or something. I don't know.
Speaking of what Disney's sitting on, I read yesterday that the life insurance payout for Carrie Fisher was like $50 million for Disney. So they got, I mean,
really?
Scary, but they got a payday for that.
I didn't read that. That's crazy. I mean, I'm curious because she had finished filming episode 8.
Yeah.
And,
episode 8, not 9. I heard
not 9. Apparently, no one knows what her role was going to be, or or if she dies in 8, who knows? But
it's going to be really weird.
I mean, I know she has a bigger role in 8 than she did in 7, but 9, obviously they didn't film anything for yet, so I don't know how that's going to affect it, and they haven't said anything. So I'm sure they're all just like waiting to get back from Christmas break and being like, fuck.
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's figure this out.
We got their CG double.
Yeah, really. I don't know. I hope they stay away from that. Just write it out of the story.
Yeah, they'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Which I'm curious. Like going back all the way to Dark Knight. Like I was wondering if they ever had any intention to use Heath Ledger's Joker again in the Nolan verse.
Well, apparently there was going to be some veiled reference to him in Dark Knight Rises because how the whole prisons aren't the prisoners released or something. I don't
maybe
was some when Gotham becomes like crazy and it's
yeah.
like I forget who remembered that movie was not great, but like I remember there was some veiled reference to him being around and they would have used him more had he lived, but supposedly there's a reference that he is doing stuff in Gotham, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, so Rogue One was half good. I mean, half amazing, half terrible. So yeah,
it was good enough, I guess. I don't know.
Good enough, yeah.
I mean, It was basically getting a live action, what's it called, a Rogue Squadron movie, the video games.
Yeah, they need a better, they need to pick directors like Marvel does, where you pick the right one for a property rather than the guy who directed the big movie, which is what they did. So that's the biggest issue.
I do want to point out that, and once again, a nerdy nitpick, that when they were hijacking that plane and leaving the Rebel base, they're like, what's your call sign? Who are you? Rogue One. And then they fly away. Just for the record, a military base would be like, you ain't fucking going anywhere. We're shooting you down.
that thing would still be cabled down, and they would be like, shit, we can't leave. Fuck.
Everyone's like, oh, what can you do? We lost another one to some kids.
So get back in the holding cell, assholes.
I really wanted them to say, like, our call sign's Rogue One, and go, yeah, it sounds like your call sign is Fart Ship. See a Fart Ship. Don't be making up call signs on my watch.
The guy's like, that's gay.
That is the worst name ever. Rogue One.
Look, they had like 10 seconds to come up with something.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you spell that? R-O-U-G? I don't know. We gotta go.
Is that the lady from Sonic? The Bat? Rogue?
No, the one from X-Men.
Yeah. Can't wait for Rogue 2.
The vaunted Imperial walkers do have a weakness. Slice open their gut, and you'll bring them to their knees. Be smart. Be victorious.
Rebel Strike. Rated teen.
Is there any like expanded Star Wars story you'd like to see made into a film?
I want to see. I was listening to some Screen Junkies podcast on the way home, and they're talking about this. And there's the young Han Solo, the young Obi-Wan. I think they're sitting on a gold mine if they go back and to like the Knights of the Old Republic kind of stuff, and they do it right. Like there's a lot of material you can work with, introduce brand new characters from a different era. These massive wars between the Jedis and the Sith. Like, go for that. I'm on board.
I want to see Han Solo fight the Otter.
Oh.
Yeah.
The Otter. Explain that, Nolan.
I don't really know much, honestly. I was just browsing Tumblr one day, and there was this post that said, okay, the Star Wars extended universe is one of the most confusing fucking things ever. And people just listed all of these examples of the extended universe, like how Palpatine had like multiple clones and they all got killed off somehow. Or that there was this D2 machine or whatever, or some droid that was leading an uprising on the second Death Star, but it was stopped and you didn't know about it because the rebels destroyed the second Death Star. And then there was this really, really detailed, highly like it's like something Greg Hildebrand painted. I'm not sure it was him, but it was some artist who painted this realistic looking otter with like golden jewelry on it, like it was a king or something, and Han Solo was fist like.
Yeah, it is. It's a giant
links to that below. But my favorite is the lightsaber suit, where it's just fucking lightsabers sticking out of this pointy ass knight suit. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 8 lightsabers all in every direction, and this guy is ready to fucking fight 8 Jedis at once.
General Grievous approved.
But thankfully now Disney has said all the extended universe stuff is no longer canon.
Which is probably for the best.
But they hint at it though well, no, I guess not really hint at it. Oh, whatever.
But if they were gonna make another sort of side movie, I want there to be what's it called? What's that 64 video game?
Rogue Squadron?
No, Shadows of the Empire.
Oh, Shadows of the Empire. Yes.
Yeah, Shadows of the Empire. I'm surprised they haven't said they're doing, since they could rely more, because that takes place between Empire and Jedi.
It takes place during Empire.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's during. It starts out with the Hoth battle and ends on I forget how the game ends.
That Skyhook battle with the they're fighting the green dude, and the Empire and the rebels are like working to get. No. There's like this guy. I forget his name. Super Star Wars fans will know his name, but like Vader had like a guy who was like a green dude, who was like supposed to be his apprentice, I believe. and he was like trying to gain Vader's like favor and built some skyhook that was gonna betray the Empire. I don't know. It was something weird like that.
So like a giant grappling hook in space.
They call it a skyhook, but and it's actually like a giant like X or something. I don't know. I just remember flying into it and blowing it up, and that was fun. I hate the squid level.
I mean, if there's somehow a giant grappling hook that can like reel in planets and have the planets hit each other, I think that would be pretty cool. But I don't think that's possible within the Star Wars universe.
Invader Zim levels of malarkey.
Yeah, but if you play that game now, it doesn't hold up at all. Like that was the beginning of 3D movement, where nobody knew how camera controls and 3D movement worked at all.
Oh god,
it's unplayable today.
Those slow ass wampas in the game, they scared the fuck out of me. I hated those things.
Yeah, those Yeti things, those things are terrifying, and they take like 1 billion hits to be killed.
Yep.
But is that all for Star Wars?
Yeah.
I'm lucky I didn't see the movie, and I managed to miss that whole conversation because my power surged.
I think he wants me to put the hurt on him.
I think he wants you to put the hurt on him.
You think he wants me to put the hurt on him?
Yes, I do.
Regular show. It's anything but. New series premieres Monday, September 6th at 8:15, right after Adventure Time.
Oh!
Only on Cartoon Network.
Oh, Jim, looks like your new video was retweeted by JG Quintel.
Yeah, it was. That was pretty cool. I was very surprised by it. Yeah, that video's JG Quintel retweeted it. So
that's why I got so many retweets. That was awesome, dude.
Yeah, I thought I got pranked actually again. I was like, oh man, Zemo again, and then it was actually his Twitter. So he approved of it. Yeah.
Now that regular show is ending, like I wish I could somehow, I don't know, get JG Quintel on the podcast.
I wish I knew more about it because I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's sad that it's ending because it ends like this month. Like it's gonna end in a couple, like January 15th or something. I was like,
over.
It's been marathoning that show. It's solid.
I mean, I just watched a ton of them to make that video, but I don't know. I am a little sad about it because it's like I've been with it for so long, and it's always been like this big show for me. So I'm like, oh man, end of an era. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Unlike Adventure Time, where I'm like, can you just go? Like,
oh.
There's the door.
JG Quintel never tweeted any of my shit.
I think Alex Hirsch was hinting at some stuff on his Twitter, saying like his 2017 resolutions are like he had 2 little joke ones, and the third one said revealing my secret project for 2017. So I guess he's got something in the works.
Oh boy.
But I actually know there's this thing in the regular show fandom where people hate the show because of 2 in the AM PM and feel that he sold out because he won't make the whole show like 2 in the AM PM. And I'm like, I guess, guys, I don't really know what your point is. It seems to be more like them pointing out that it was based on this, like, you know, college short where people take drugs, but they can't get over that, like, not every episode would be about them getting high like that, but you couldn't do that on Cartoon Network. So it's kind of a dumb, but I've like seen, there were a couple videos of it. There's one, my favorite one I found was one that says JG Quintel is an asshole. And it's this guy just talking about how he's a great person and how he's like, yeah. And you know, he just like banned us. Like we're not friends on Facebook after I messaged him like maybe too many times and he didn't respond. And, you know, it's like, I just, you know, I wanted someone from Cartoon Network to know my ideas. You never know his ideas. He just like rambles and it's like the weird. But if you type JG Quintel into YouTube, it's like the 5th video down, I think.
You want to get into the questions?
Yeah.
Is Izzy still here?
I'm here. And
okay.
I don't know anything about Star Wars, so the conversation kind of like.
No, sorry.
I've seen episode 1, 4, and 7, and the Christmas edition.
the good ones.
So the beginning of each arc.
I just figured I'd just go in and watch the each part of the trilogies as I go. So, you know, when the next one comes out, I'll watch 2, 5, and 8.
You don't need to see 2. Just see 5.
I just saw episode 4 for the first time while I was gone in Wisconsin.
Oh, how did you like it?
I saw this one of the special edition versions, which wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. The way like Red Letter Media it made it sound like it was nigh unwatchable, but it was just kind of like annoying, like at its worst, but not like actually unwatchable. So I might pick up some of the Blu-rays.
No, that reminds me. Like me and my family were watching episode 4 again, and like my mom was saying, "Wait, how can they get that sort of creature in a movie this old?" And I had to explain to her what the special editions and all these things were.
That's funny.
That's cute.
But even when I was younger, like when I saw like episode 6 and all those weird dancing creatures in Java's Palace, I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
That was weird looking.
Yeah, but at least Max Rebo he's fine. The blue elephant guy.
Yeah, he'll get a spin-off, I bet.
I hope so. I want a squishy toy of Max Rebo.
I'm sure they have one at Disney.
Yes, please.
Or a sex toy.
But let's get into some questions.
Oh, I just want to throw out, I would have saw episode 5, but my friend refused to let me watch it unless it was the VHS copy. And it's been watched so often that the snow scenes were impossible to see. It was just white. Like I couldn't see what was going on, and so I gave up.
Jeez. No, that's just the movie normally.
Is it?
Nah, I don't even know.
No, it shouldn't be.
Have you ever played Donkey Kong Country when you go into the snow level? That's
I love Donkey Kong Country.
No, like when you go into deep into the snow level, like near the end, where it's just like just fucking a wall of white. You can't see anything.
Yeah.
But all right, questions. If anybody has any questions, be sure to start out with the word question so it's easier to find, and post your question in the YouTube comments of this podcast. And our first question is by Julian Giddens. Question: what is the best game you could never finish?
Well, not best game, but like Metal Gear Solid 5, I just haven't finished because it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth at one point. I was just having a really bad day, so I thought, I'll play Metal Gear Solid 5, and I got stuck in this loop where like I was stuck in like a fail state that I couldn't get out of, so I had to restart this whole terrible escort mission over again.
Oh no.
And needless to say, I probably threw the biggest tantrum I ever threw in my life because it pissed me off that much, and I just didn't play it for months. I mean, it's not the best. I mean, technically, it's one of the best Metal Gear games. Not like on a technicality, but like in the technicals of playing it. But yeah, I just haven't been able to pick it up since. And I hear that Konami deletes save files if they're left sitting long enough.
What the fuck?
So I might not even be able to play my game without.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, that's the digital age, people. That's
fuck everything.
Yeah,
I can't play the Simpsons arcade game at all now. Well, online.
No.
On Xbox Live and stuff. Like I wish I bought it when it was out. I really want to play it, and the only way to do that is either find an arcade machine of it or figure out how MAME works on a MacBook. But the best game that I never beat it was it was this Sega Genesis game called Comic Zone, where it's a character who gets trapped inside a comic book, and like you're given one life to beat the game, and that's it. Like there's no save states. Everything you do hurts you. Like if you punch a wall, that hurts you. Do a special move, that hurts you. And like I remember reading interviews where the developer said, "Yeah, we kind of regret making this game so hard." So yeah, that's a game nobody could ever beat. But anyone else got anything?
I played the Shantae game, the one with where you're a pirate instead of a genie.
You are a pirate.
I got to the last level, and it's like this endurance thing, and I just can't get past it. Like I kind of like got frustrated and quit, and just never went back to it. Besides that, I love the game. It's great.
Yeah.
It's the only Shantae game I really actually care for.
If you want your game to get popular, just draw some cartoon girls as the main character, and everyone will be drawing porn of it. Thus, your game will become popular. I mean, that's why My Life as a Teenage Robot is a popular show online, because everyone just wants to draw porn of the robot. Chris, if you remember Chris, he was in California all the time. He lives there. He was telling me, like, yeah, all these industry people like Craig McCracken and Rebecca Sugar watch your work. And I'm like, do they? I don't know to believe them.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it's best to doubt that, not think of too much. No, I wasn't. I had a.
That would never happen.
I had an overall point. Sorry. I mean, it's just best to like not think it because then you'll like get nervous about saying something or it's like
nice save, Jim.
Fuck your shit, Craig McCracken.
Yeah,
no,
accept reality, Pan.
I was gonna get to the.
I think they know about Pan. I think it's if they know about Mr. Enter, they definitely know about Pan.
No, they didn't know about Mr. Enter when I asked you, Rebecca.
That's right. They did.
Okay,
they knew me.
So I've been like working out on an exercise bike, and usually I put on Netflix or something. And you released a new video, so I was like, all right, fine. I've already seen what it's going to autoplay to the Christmas one with the really awful animation.
Rhapsody Street Kids.
Yeah, that. So like you had the top 5 hated thing, and so I knew it was going to play to that, and I just assumed it was going to keep playing into your videos, even though I've seen them. Because I try to exercise at least 40 minutes to an hour, and immediately after that one, it starts playing Mr. Enter, and I felt so betrayed by autoplay.
Autoplay is usually so good though. Like if you want to watch like a series of videos, autoplay usually like does it really well.
Yeah.
No.
But then sometimes it'll once the series is done, it'll go to something completely unrelated.
Who wants to see a glowing knife?
Actually, when I used to have to test like screens and stuff at my job, I'll just put on Sonic playthroughs and I'll just leave them on because they'll just play forever and I can like do other stuff. And if you leave autoplay on, I eventually like got through like a bunch of Sonic playthroughs, and then somehow, and right when people came in, it was like this kid playing with his Sonic plushies and going like, "Oh, Tails, what should we do today?" And I was like, "Oh my god, thanks a lot, autoplay."
Was anyone else in that room just like?
There was
you?
like a coworker, and he was like, "What the hell are you doing?" Like he thought it was like because they knew I did just playthroughs and would keep them on while I'm like fixing something else. And like I wasn't looking and I looked up and I go, this looks bad. Damn it.
Wait, so you watch Sonic playthroughs?
I usually have it because I like the music and I'm like I have to like fix something else and then it's just on in the background. And if I have a movie on, I'll want to like watch it. So Sonic playthroughs is like calming, and I like the first 2 games' music a lot. So. Mm-hmm. So I used to play Sonic in the 90s a lot. So
yeah. Everyone did.
I played. I think it was either early 2000s or 90s. Sonic was like one of the first games I ever played, which set the course for my life of being one of the most autistic people on this podcast.
Oh,
most autistic? Is that? We should give that out every year.
Oh my gosh! This reminds me. Did anybody see my new Let's Play on Pan's Let's Play channel?
Oh, I did see that.
I did not. No.
Look, I promised my little sister that she can have my Let's Play channel for Christmas. That was my present to her.
What a shitty gift.
Look, it has like 10,000 subscribers. It's a good starting point for her and her potential Let's Play career. I was thinking it's like, what if I start doing Let's Plays again? Like not as Emily. Well, Emily. I'm gonna take it back from Emily and just do it myself, and because like you see all these Let's Players getting popular on YouTube, and thus they end up on like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network and Disney XD, and I'm thinking that should be fucking me. These normies don't know anything about cartoons, children's cartoons, and it's like I should be doing this Let's Play crap.
Wait, hey, so I want to see you in like a Cartoon Network commercial where the kids are like, and they're like, I like Teen Titans Go, and then you're just like, just kind of hunkering over the phone.
Raven gives me a raging.
Pan's already on a Cartoon Network video.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, yeah.
Wait, what?
But let me just say to the audience listening to this, there's a video on Cartoon Network's YouTube channel, and I'm in it. So I challenge some of you to figure out how it's me in which video and where I am. Good luck. That's all you get. That's all the hints you get. It's a Cartoon Network video on their YouTube channel.
Honestly, because Pan showed me the screenshot before, and it's like I would never find him.
It's literally a blink and you'll miss it moment, but it's like the camera frames him, sort of. It frames him. He's very far off in the background, but the way that the shot is like set up, it's like you just see a glimpse of him, but it's like a spotlight. Like there he is. There's the worst fucking YouTube reviewer out there.
Hang on, let me. I'm screen capping it for you guys.
He's not Mr. Enter.
How dare you?
He's getting there.
Yeah, definitely. I just, not to rant about Mr. Enter, but like every time I watch his stuff, because I got 8 minutes into his that cartoon special thing, and like it's just him complaining. Like it's not even good, and I get really frustrated when he's like, "Well, people who actually know what they're doing," and I'm like, "You don't animate, you don't know."
All I want for Mr. Enter is to change his goddamn YouTube banner to something. It's like, I don't know. It's like a little tag on a shirt that like rubs you the wrong way, and you're like, just rip the tag off or something. I don't know.
Should I keep this Enter thing into the podcast?
Yeah, what?
Sure. I don't care.
Cares?
I mean, we diss on everyone else. Let's diss on Enter.
It's not
my opinions and views to be known.
Yeah.
I'm so sick.
Wait, can we pause for a second? Okay, so where does the Enter hate come from? Because he follows me on YouTube, and that was the first time I ever heard of him. And I watched his channel, and his videos, I'm like, this is poorly edited. But then he recently stepped his game up because somebody's editing for him now. But I do want to know, where does the I guess, not, I don't call it hate, but just,
I don't like him because he's like always, he takes things too seriously. Like he's like, that wasn't funny at all.
Jeez.
You know,
he does
this he makes like 50 videos where it's like, oh, SpongeBob just isn't funny anymore.
Or isn't he? I haven't seen a lot of him, but isn't he kind of one of those people who he's not really critiquing, he's just nitpicking to death?
Yeah, that's it.
And like that's hard to explain to. Sometimes I'll watch something with someone, I go, you're just picking a million things, you're not really critiquing something, like, you know.
Like I think it's best if everybody should just watch my Rhapsody Kids video, which came out first, and then watch his and see which is the better one.
I was literally about to say that, because there is a huge contrast where like Pan gives off the history of the film. He talk, you talk, like you're not in here, but yeah, you give the history, you give a plot summary, you hit all the major points, and then like really big moments, they're like, what the fuck, really? And then you end it off, like you make a narrative out of your review, and there's actually like a start, middle, and end to your video, versus like Mr. Enter and a lot of other internet reviewers where it's just like they're literally going through the entire movie, and they're just like, they find something and they just nitpick the smallest things that don't matter, and they never really actually like do a review as the thing as a whole. And it'd be great if it's like actually like making fun of it or like riffing it if it was funny, but like Mr. Enter, all he does is complain about the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah,
he's an interesting fellow, that guy. I've like looked at his channel and kind of Googled him a bit just to see what he's about, because like I guess so Pan, I am a big fan of you, and I love your content. You're a big inspiration for my channel, and
yes, I'm great.
No, really, and your penis it's huge, like enormous.
Yes, actually, I have.
And no, please. Well,
please.
I know it's not cut, but it's all right.
Shut up.
No, but seriously, like I talk to Paleo a lot, just when we about YouTube stuff, and we bring you up a lot about here's someone who does a good job with editing and keeping the quality up. For Mr. Enter, I'm like, dude, do something with your title cards, do something with your banner, clean yourself up, man.
Here's $1. Go
clean yourself up, you scrub.
Yeah. Oh no, Mr. Enter, you can't wash my windshield. It's already clean. Please don't.
Get away from it. Oh, you're smudging them.
Oh god.
However, he did step up his game with the most recent reviews. He now has a animated avatar talking to the screen.
Emphasis. What do you mean animated?
It's like
by animated. He has like 12 drawings, and he interplaces them to set the mood of what his character is saying.
So it's a slideshow.
Kind of, and then occasionally he'll do like a weird like camera movement or something.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so I am the superior video reviewer. Me. Yeah.
Pan, Hot Diggity Demon.
Yeah.
We thought he was voted best show on the internet, but as it turns out, I just got the letter. You're the best show on the internet. Pizza Party Podcast is the best show on the internet. It's all because of you, Pan.
Let's go back to praising me.
No. Let's talk about this other guy that has really good production values.
I've met Max before. Like, get this. So you'll like the story. So I was a big time brony back in the day, and
motherfucker.
I know I'm a piece of shit. I know, and I was working on a documentary for called The Brony Chronicles. I hate myself. And but get this. So there was another documentary going on at the same time. Like, we announced ours because Payla and I worked on it. And then like a week later, there was the official Brody documentary, the one that's on Netflix. And I was like, those motherfuckers, like they're copying us. So there was this long-standing like rivalry between us. And I went to a convention in California, a pony one, and while there, they rented the movie theater out to showcase the Brony documentary, which was already getting a lot of critique so far. Max was there, and this is back when Max was somewhat still involved with the pony stuff, with doing his like .mov stuff, and these people who made this documentary are doing a shitty job. It's a shitty documentary. There's very questionable ways of doing it, where like they're making people pay for it despite the like Kickstarter donations, which were like way above their stretch goals. And at the end of the screening, he stood up and he started just fucking like just destroying these guys with questions about how like corrupt they are. And I'm like, good on Max. He doesn't give a fuck. Like, he's just telling them how, like, he's like, why do you guys need to do this to begin with? Like, there's nothing special about bronies. And I was like, God, I don't know. It was beautiful.
Is this the same documentary, the one where Lauren Faust was in it and there was animation sequences, or is this a different one?
It's the one where Lauren Faust looks like she's about to cry on screen because she's like, they're bringing back all these old memories about how like her show got ripped from her hands. It's the one with John Delancey and how
because there's like one major one and I'm thinking, is that the one where they interview like 3 guys, like I think Living Tombstone?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one I saw.
Yeah. Bronies were a thing. Good stuff. That's how I got into it. I did the pony stuff for a while, and then I thought, okay, well, this is no pun intended, beating a dead horse. So
I remember the good old days of ponies.
Yeah, you were a pony person, weren't you? Yeah, you piece of shit. I knew it.
It was a simpler time back then.
Was it?
Yeah.
Me and my friend Doc were watching pony documentaries, and we were just laughing at everybody in them.
I was in one, and I was really fat during it. I was super fat.
Oh no! Can we find a clip of you?
I'll show you. I think it's on Netflix. I remember because they came down to Georgia, and I was walking around a toy aisle, and I was like trying to explain like the sociology of bronies. Wow, they put B movies on Netflix. Wonderful.
Did you have a beard too, and you had like glasses?
No, I this is back to my Alola form. Because I shed some weight and I grew a beard, so I look, in my opinion, much better now. By the way, did you send me a flash stick with some stuff on it?
Who?
Nolan.
What did I do?
No, okay, what's not have been you? In my P.O. box I got, because you did the Rocket Power review, right?
Yeah.
I watched that, and it was you and your buddies in the parking lot?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a letter in my P.O. box with like a flash stick. And there were like all these files leading up into this one video. And it was your video, but someone like YouTube pooped it. And I'm like, why did Nolan send me?
Someone sent a fucking YouTube poop to you via USB?
That's so weird.
What the hell?
I'll upload it later.
Wow.
What the fuck is happening?
That's dedication.
Your photos were all YouTube pooped and everything. It was really, I was like, because I'm like, does Nolan have a crush on me? I don't know.
I mean, I think you're hot, but like, what the fuck?
Whoa.
Thank you, Nolan.
Drama bomb.
No, the best part is
somebody made a fucking YouTube poop in my video and they didn't fucking send it to me?
They sent it to me.
What the fuck?
On a flash drive? That's the weirdest part. I don't get like why.
Internet's equivalent of a mixtape.
It came with, and there was a bag of Mexican candy that came with it. That I had. It was pretty good. But
you ate candy from a stranger.
Yeah.
Shit.
What are you, 5?
It was wrapped up. It was enticing. Maybe it wasn't the best idea in hindsight, but still, I'm alive. It's been about 2 weeks. I'm okay. All right. So here's a picture of me. Let me see if we can screen cap this. Yeah, I was a bit of a chub during these days. Netflix is being slow.
You say that like chub is a bad thing.
It's not. There's nothing wrong with it. But I definitely like the way I look now. Hold on.
That's good. I mean, it's good to be body positive for sure.
Yeah, whatever makes you happy.
But I'm just saying, if you ever chubby again, just hit me up, fam.
I'll send you a PO box. YouTube poop.
Yeah, please do. Oh, so a student of mine. Okay, so I was teaching one of my classes, and a student's like, "Hey," because I occasionally show clips of TV shows as like either a icebreaker at the beginning of the class or something. And a student was like, "Hey, here's a video. Look up this one." And I'm like, "All right, cool. It's a Kingdom Hearts video." And I watched like about 30 seconds of it, and it's clearly a YouTube poop. And I'm like, did you just link me to a YouTube poop? Like, and he goes, "No." And I'm like, "No, I'm pretty sure this is a YouTube poop." I mean, like, it's this thing, where like half the language, like it's Sora like speaking a sentence based off like 5 different clips intermingled into each other, and then like randomly Hogan's Hero is placed into it. And I'm just like, "No, this is a YouTube poop." He goes, "No, it's not. You know how I know? I made it." And I'm like, "First of all, you just linked me to your own YouTube poop?"
Wow, it gets worse.
Yeah, no. And so like he gets really angry with me. It's not a YouTube poop. There's no profanity. It's not a YouTube poop. And I'm just like, what's wrong? And it's like it's a YouTube poop. If it's a like the definition of a YouTube poop is literally just taking a bunch of YouTube videos and editing them together into one new product. And he got really angry with me. He was a little bit autistic, and he hated the word poop. Like, he wasn't a fan of that particular word because it was a dirty word. And so like he couldn't get past that. So no matter what, and I was like, well, here I'm gonna, since this is an educational setting, I'm going to play a PBS documentary or not really documentary, but like an idea channel video about YouTube poops. And he just like put on his headphones and turned around, and he didn't watch it.
Wow.
I took 10 minutes of my classroom to educate people on YouTube poops through a PBS sponsored video, and he didn't pay attention.
Wow. Do I keep this in the podcast?
I don't care.
Is there anything anybody wants me to cut out?
I'm okay.
I'm cool.
Jimmy, you didn't say anything.
Jim, shut up.
I'm just saying, I'm okay.
What's the next question?
Okay, well, okay. Nothing to cut out then? Okay, let me see.
I do know, however, that some of my students are people that watch your channel.
Yay.
And it's really awkward.
Frostcore says, question, are you going to invite SaberSpark as a guest on this podcast? Because he said he'd definitely do it.
I'm a slut, man. I'm going to spread my legs as wide as I possibly can.
Oh, yeah.
Good, here I come. Choo-choo.
Woo woo.
Scott Grant, question, what's the worst cartoon conspiracy theory you've ever heard?
I got one for you.
Angelica theory.
That's the first.
I got one for you. My girlfriend was telling me about this one, and she actually believes it. That the parents of Anna and Elsa are also the parents of Tarzan. And apparently some folks who work like in Frozen were like, yeah, it's true. And I'm like, that's fucking bullshit. There's different time zones. Not time zones, but, eras.
They're different character designs.
Yeah, doesn't make sense. I don't.
That's a redesign.
Well, and also Tarzan's parents are English. Like Anna and Elsa come from a different part of Europe, or it's a made-up country, but it's supposed to be like Scandinavia and stuff. So that's not even geographically correct.
I'm pretty sure Cartoon Hangover did a video about this, saying it was confirmed.
It's the stupid.
Oh, it is?
I don't care. They confirmed it.
But it's that bullshit confirmed where like the director's like, yes, of course Tarzan's their brother. And then this. Also, by the way, the penguins from Surf's Up also exist in this universe.
What? And Anna and Elsa's universe?
Well, it's the director's being like, yeah, sure, it's whatever you want it to be. Like,
means that the wrestler penguins also exist in the same universe? Right?
Oh my god, the John Cena. Oh man, Surf's Up 2 Wave Mania starring John Cena and the rest of the WrestleMania cast. Yes!
Does that come out yet?
That's coming out in like a couple of months.
Can't wait, man. Can't wait.
I'm fucking ready. No, I think the worst cartoon conspiracy is like for the show Over the Garden Wall. Like I've never seen it, but like there's all these theories about how it was all a dream and like everything's just just a representation of like the 3 sins of Dante's Inferno or whatever. Like, that's the most cliche thing ever. Like, it was all a dream. Like, who would do that? Who would honestly write a story where it's all a dream in Over the Garden Wall? That's stupid. I haven't seen the show, but I'm glad they would never do that. I'm sure they would never do that.
Wait, have you not seen Over the Garden Wall?
Yeah, I thought you reviewed it.
Fuck you, Izzy. You're all it.
You all can't tell he's being sarcastic.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because like I just actually introduced someone to it yesterday, so like I'm kind of I just rewatched the whole thing.
Well, yeah, but now I got spoiled on it, so
fuck. Oh well.
It's not. It doesn't really change too much.
Yeah.
No, I mean like it really, honestly, you can figure it out within the first episode or two.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I did. I called it. I was like, yeah.
Shit, we're not all geniuses like you.
Well, it's just basic common sense, son.
Well, how's that common sense? Huh? I mean, I've seen The Village.
Okay, first of all, I think it's closer to say Wizard of the Oz.
Wizard of the Oz?
No, I know. I was like, moment, like let's let past that because I really butchered that title.
No, but I actually agree with what Izzy said, because that's actually kind of, because you're not sure in Wizard of Oz, like, if Dorothy like made it up or if it's a dream, but like since there are like a lot of Oz books, like it is like she did go off and go to Oz and stuff, and it has this like mystery, like what happened. And I feel like in Over the Garden Wall there's this mystery of like, was it like a weird dimension, was it purgatory, was it, you know, like, because Wirt and Greg have the same, you can't have the same dream as someone else unless you're like inceptioning or something.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I always looked at it as like, it's something, but you don't know what it is, but that kind of makes it more mysterious. Like it's something we don't understand.
It gets really interesting if you consider the fact that if it is a dream, then Greg had a dream within the dream.
Oh, yes, you're right.
I've done that before. I've done that. It's weird. I one time was dreaming and I went to sleep in my dream, but nothing happened, and that like made me wake up because in my dream I go, wait, I'm sleeping. How can I dream while dreaming? And
well, you can, according to, you know, Inception, which I'm going to use as evidence of dreaming. You can. They do have dreams within dreams. If you remember, they're in the one dream that looks like a Michael Mann movie, and then they dream about another thing that looks like a Michael Mann movie, and then they dream they're in the snow place, and it just keeps going, and time moves slower each one or something. That's a whole Chris Nolan thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that was in Interstellar, too. I just realized that. Man, that guy sucks. Anyway.
To quote a famous transsexual, don't dream it, be it.
Ah, that's a good one.
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
That's Rocky Horror
Show.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, any other horrible conspiracies?
There were so many. There was one time the YouTuber Mr. Creepypasta read a Frozen theory where Anna had like a brain hemorrhage or something. She imagined it all. She imagined everything that happened in the movie, including her parents dying. It isn't a theory, but I really like Squidward's suicide because it's one of the edgiest things ever, and I love it. It started, I don't know if it started it, but I think it started the hyper-realistic thing.
Where they say hyper-realistic blood in this cartoon.
Yeah, because that somehow makes it creepier.
I guess it would work like mixed media. Like, that's something Courage the Cowardly Dog could be described as.
Yeah, like the only time I've ever seen them use mixed media to their advantage, though, in Creepypasta is like the Ed and Eddie Lost episode 1 where it's like Double D like is in claymation. He's walking around his room, and that's it. That was like the only time that Creepypasta was actually kind of clever. And then the rest of it was like, oh, Ralph is fisting his cow in the shed.
Wouldn't
Ad boys?
Wait, wouldn't Gumball be mixed media?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I just realized it. Sorry.
I mean, they're good creepypastas if you look, but like they're really hard to come by because there's so much garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think the first one I was aware of was the whole, I think, Lavender Town one about like, ooh, these kids listen to this tone and everyone else and these kids killed themselves. Like, I heard this one where it was about this show where the more people watched it, the more, I don't know, the more people suffered from it. Or something, I don't know.
Wait, is that stuff? That's like straight out of Halloween 3?
No, like the more people were tuning in, the more suffering in the world there is or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, like did you ever see Halloween 3?
Oh yeah, that stupid annoying thing that keeps saying 5 more days till Halloween.
And then if the kids wear this mask from a certain store, then their face melts and turns into bugs. If they watch this show that they had to watch, they were heavily promoting, which was like Halloween 3 is an interesting experiment that I don't like at all. But
it's not.
But that's where. What?
Oh, I played a board game yesterday called Last Friday, and it's essentially Friday the 13th, like the board game. But I guess they couldn't get the license for it. And it's a really good board game that I recommend anyone to check out. But like, it was just really weird that like, it's just Friday the 13th, but they couldn't get the license, so it's instead of Jason, it's the Maniac, and the camp is completely different names and such. But it's a camp with a lake and a killer with a machete.
Really? I mean, Friday the 13th is so easy to rip off because it itself is a rip off. So it's like, that whole genre is like, I'm sure they're like, oh, this is no problem at all. We'll just change it to this thing. And, you know, because all you need is somebody with a mask and a knife, you know?
This reminds me, like, one of the earliest creepypastas I heard was, I think, like, someone was telling me about this Australian movie or something where there's a scene where the audio frequency goes so high that it shatters the windows of anybody who's watching it. Anything glass-related will be shattered.
So did you watch it?
Someone told me over... Like, it was this guy I met on Omegle, and, like, for some reason, I decided to give him my Skype name, and we were, like... He just kept messaging me on Skype just to chat with me, some guy in college. And I don't know, he was telling me about this stuff, and I was like, is that true? And I kept looking it up, and I could not find any source to that. He was the only source I had to that. So I've never seen that guy again, so who knows?
That might not be. I mean, there's always the big movie favorite, and I had to explain to someone at a party the whole Stanley Kubrick moon thing, which I think we've talked about on here before.
The moon landing, we talked about it.
But like that one seems that's always going to be my favorite. But that's not a cartoon one. I guess I feel like there's got to be some Disney ones or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was watching that Shiny song from Moana because they finally uploaded it to YouTube, and I saw that, and I'm sure it's been pointed out 1,000 times already, but I saw the genie's lamp was on top of the giant crab monster, the giant enemy crab, and when Maui's like, it's Maui time, and in the gold pile you can see the genie's lamp. So I'm like, oh, maybe they're in the same universe, like Moana and Aladdin share the same extended or expanded universe or whatever.
I guess so. I mean, Genie was in that lamp for a long-ass time. But someone came up with another theory about the Genie lamp. Like, apparently, like, when Genie was released, he made a reference to some era in history, and people were saying he couldn't have been in that lamp for that long, because otherwise he'd be asleep during that time of that era. So Aladdin must take place in the future, in this post-apocalyptic world.
Actually, that's a good theory. I actually like that theory.
That's how post-apocalyptic Agrabah.
Like, that's how Robin Williams can make all those like pop culture references because Genie lived through like all that and then was in the lamp, and then like there's a post-apocalypse thing, and then society rebuilt, and then the Genie was awoken. I think that's a cool idea. It kind of makes sense, even though it's giving continuity to something very silly. But
I mean, it could work because like I was comparing like Maui to Genie a little bit, because he said like a pop culture reference briefly. He said, when you get a bird and you write a message with it, it's called tweeting. It's like,
yeah, I hated that
bullshit. And also, this is kind of like Genie. So, what if they are in the future? This is Waterworld.
That was such a dad joke that, like, when I saw it, like, I heard some parents laugh, and I was like, God damn, that's the joke they're going to repeat at Thanksgiving. Like, they made a tweeting joke, but it's a bird, you see. And they're like, Uncle Steve, stop. And go, no, but Moana, it's really good, I gotta say.
I gotta say, child.
So, yeah. So Aladdin, Moana, and Waterworld all take place in the same universe.
Yes. Waterworld. Actually, that's funny because they
Atlantis.
In Moana, they have a water Mad Max sequence, and that's pretty much what Waterworld is.
That was pretty great.
But that's what I just want, like someone to remake Waterworld and make it good.
I don't think that should ever happen.
Well, we don't have to worry with global warming. We're gonna live it, guys. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to drink my own pee like Kevin Costner.
Yay. So, I mean, there could be so much to these spin-offs, like Lava World,
or Lava Girl,
Jelly World.
Yeah, well, you could do a Waterworld TV show because nobody remembered the Westworld was based on a movie, so you'd be fine.
That'd be cool.
That reminds me, like, they were gonna make a 2012 TV series based on that movie 2012, and it was gonna be called 2013.
What?
That was in production.
How?
And,
what can it be? I thought the world's over.
At the end of 2012, everyone was on these arcs, these ships, so it was like life on the arc. What wacky adventures will these guys have on this arc?
Mass suicide.
No, my favorite thing about the 2012 movie is how there's a subplot about a girl wetting the bed, and then at the end she's like, "I don't do that anymore." And I was just like, she did it. She completed her
arc. Yes.
I'm invested in this.
I'm glad.
No. One of the conflicts for 2012 was that what was the actor's name? Fuck, whatever. But apparently the main guy was divorced and his ex-wife married someone else. And in this movie, they got together, but there is that problem where she's still married to this other guy. So the way they solve this is have the other guy get killed off and they can be together again.
It makes sense.
Yes. Oh.
Or how about, I think whatever the podcast was before Double Toasted, they were doing a review on 2012, and there's that scene where like the boat closed the door, and all the people outside are screaming like, "Let us in!" And they're like, "It's unethical for us not to let them in. Open the door!" And the door comes slamming down and like destroys like 1,000 people in the process.
That should have happened. Yes,
I love it. And I know it actually happened in the movie. It came crashing down and just mushed a bunch of people. And they're like, "Okay, now let them in."
Oh fuck! Wait, that did happen in the movie?
Yeah, they're like, let the people in, and the door comes like swinging down and just whoosh on these people who are waiting.
Whoops.
That movie's a mess.
I thought that movie was gonna be who was the director again? Roland Emmerich's final film. I thought that was gonna be his final disaster film, but no.
No, independent. He made a bigger disaster.
Yeah,
stay resurgent.
His next disaster was Stonewall.
Oh, that was... I forgot about that. Yeah, that was a pretty big one. But, man, all his movies are either actual disaster movies or just disasters on an artistic and fundamental level.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about going back to 2012 super quick, because I just remember this moment. I remembered it was hilarious. It's like the arc. They're the two bratty, like, spoiled kids and their fat father who's like rich. And the father, like, as a last-ditch emotional effort, throws his son onto the ark, and then the bridge pulls apart and he fucking dies. And I was like, bye.
Oh, what was the topic?
Who gives a shit? We don't ever stay on topic.
Disney, not Disney, cartoon.
Moana takes place in the same world as Waterworld, and I guess 2012 now. 2012, Moana, Wind Waker,
Monster Trucks.
Monster Trucks.
The monster is in the truck.
Oh boy, I think by the next podcast, will Monster Trucks be out?
Yeah, right.
I can't wait till we all watch it, and when we finally watch it, we're all gonna realize, wow, this movie is fucking boring.
I feel like when people see it, they're gonna be like, wow, Jim, you're a fucking jerk to make this movie into such a joke.
And then you'll finally not be the favorite anymore. Yes.
It's all part of the master plan.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just so excited because I think it's so ridiculous, and now it's like. I'll bring it up to people who don't really, who I'm friends with who don't like listen to the podcast, and they're starting to get a whiff of, they're like, so what's with you and Monster Trucks? And they're like very confused by it. And I'm like, how can you not think this movie's amazing? A 7-year-old came up with it. It's a movie about monsters in trucks. And by the way, the thing I've never discussed really is that there's already a thing called Monster Trucks, which is a pre-existing brand, which they decided not to use. It's just like, oh my God. I'm excited because it just looks like ridiculously stupid. It's like, and I know it's going to bomb because its Twitter has 500 followers.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's like, holy shit.
Have faith, Jim.
What?
Oh my god, yeah. Like, everyone in the comments, like, give a pity follow to Mosnter Truck's, the official Twitter.
Well, say like Pizza Party sent me here after you follow them. Because I would really like some, look, time's running out, and if they want to FedEx to me all the Mosnter Truck swag they have, I would be very appreciated.
If they want to take us to the midnight premiere in Hollywood for Mosnter Trucks, that'd be great.
Yeah, no, we'll all show up to the premiere, the whole Pizza Party podcast. We'll go. If Mosnter Trucks
in the theater?
If Mosnter Trucks doesn't, we'll do the red carpet. Yeah. I mean, as long as I get to I want to meet Creech, you know.
Yes. We'll be there to see Creech get his handprint on the Walk of Fame.
I mean, what's going to be really bad is what if like this movie becomes an unexpected hit and then
a monster hit.
They'll forget about us. Like we'll mean nothing to them.
It'll be in an article like, how did Mosnter Trucks become so big? And they'll be like, well, there's this thing called the Pizza Party podcast.
First meme of 2017.
No, they'll be successful and they'll forget about us.
Here's the plan. All right.
What?
Everyone that listens to this and got to this far, if you have a Twitter, tweet at them. You follow them. You tweet at them. You link the podcast.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a huge hit. And they're like, all right, we're making a sequel. And then, they probably won't put us actually in the film, but they will probably have a character watching YouTube, and the YouTube video will be Pan's channel.
I mean, Jim, I see it. You're following their account.
Yeah, I think
you retweet and favorite their stuff.
Oh yeah, I retweet them all the time.
If I think like this autistic guy really loves us.
I retweeted their thing today. What was it? Happy New Year. It says, wishing you a new year full of happiness and friendly creatures.
My favorite thing is they say Merry Creechmas.
Yeah.
Oh yes, they did say that. But like every time they put out a GIF, I'm always like, oh, retweeting that. Pan follows them also. I mean, you know.
Everyone follow them, please.
Do you think the people at Monster Truck Incorporated are like, guys, Pan Pizza follows us?
Well, they're only following one person who is not me, sadly. It's a social media team. Hootsuite,
who's failing at their job right now.
Damn, Hootsuite, get it together.
Look at that. Creech loves oil. It looks like he's sucking on a dick. I love it.
Oh, you know what we gotta do is like spread the word through Tumblr. Like we gotta make up something saying like Creech is a gay monster and wants to be with another boy monster, but like the government is trying to have these things mate, so it needs to something like that.
Off the last of the Creech creatures, and
yes,
we gotta stop.
I mean, I want to
taking a noble sacrifice and
no, let's turn Creech into a Harambe like figure. You know, Creech was like a kid and they shot Creech.
Oh no, that's how the movie ends. They shoot Creech.
Oh no. I mean, I imagine Creech doesn't talk the whole... This is how I imagine Monster Trucks. It's basically everything we see in the trailer, but at the end, Creech gets out of the monster truck and his alien spaceship comes down, and Creech suddenly has a thick English accent and goes, oh my word, I'm sorry, we had such great times, you and I, but now I must go back to my planet of Monster Truckania. I will see you there. And then he just goes off, and that's the whole thing.
By the way, we're colonizing your entire planet. Bye.
Yeah, it goes, we saw you elected this Donald Trump. We feel it is now time that we can take over. Bernie Sanders will be driving a monster trucks into the inauguration.
Oh, shit. This ties into last week's podcast. It's a podcast extended universe.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention it, but whoever made that Monster Trucks speech video, that was epic. with me as Bill Pullman, I was like, oh my God.
Links to that below.
But, I mean, you know, I think basically what Monster Trucks will probably be a huge bomb that no one will remember and will probably be best remembered as a dumb joke on this podcast. But
I love this because right now there's a post on Twitter where it just says design your own monster truck. And that's it. Like, there's no link. There's nothing. Open a Microsoft Paint and draw a truck. Piece of shit.
I should print that out and then like color it and then post it. You know what? I should color it and put like a Nazi symbol in the door.
Oh, fuck no, Jim.
What? Maybe it's an alt-right kids movie. You know,
don't cut our ties with monster trucks. This is our only chance at fame.
Oh, sorry. I mean, I'm sure they love everyone and not are down with Nazis.
Oh man. Oh no, what if it turns out like there's a whole Tumblr post saying like, yeah, Monster Truck supports Nazis and the alt-right. Don't watch this movie.
Hey, look,
it's like
No. Listen, the Creech he takes control of Hitler's old car and drives it around.
I'm curious what Hitler's car would look like.
How about this for a movie? They do a crossover with Monster Trucks and Herbie the Love Bug.
Oh no.
Well, Herbie's not doing anything.
Yeah. Neither is Lindsay Lohan.
I just want to see like a reimagining of the Herbie movies where like he gets gutted, and then the Creech goes inside and then does a romantic adventure with some girl.
That's some sort of car gore fetish, a vor fetish. That's what it is.
Yeah. What if Disney Pixar's Cars meets with Monster Trucks? That'd be kind of cool.
I bet they were hoping this would be their version of Cars, where the merchandise sells better than the movie itself.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want.
It probably, I bet you it will, because I think they made money off the Speed Racer merchandise. It's just
plus also Jim bought like half of the merchandise already.
I mean, I bought a lot of Monster Truck stuff. It's ridiculous, you know.
Somebody who messaged us who works at Toys R Us, they told us, like, yeah, we have these Monster Truck toys here. They've been here all month, and nobody's bought them.
Really? Well, if you want to send them to me.
I mean, it looks like they just got some random truck toys, and they just slapped on the Monster Trucks brand.
Oh, what if that's actually how this movie happened? They're like, we have all these trucks. What do we do with it? And he goes, what if we put monsters inside them, but also make a movie and have merchandise for the movie be in January? And they're like, oh my God, Steve, that's the greatest idea. And he goes, thank you.
Thank you. My son came up with it. No, it's rated PG for action, peril, brief, scary images, and some rude humor.
Oh no!
I'm looking forward to the inevitable, like, straight-to-video sequel with WWE crossover.
Fuck yes!
Oh, yes! This is just getting better and better.
Monster Trucks Wrestling
with Fred Flintstone.
Oh my!
I hope whoever announces the Oscar nominations goes like, and the Best Picture nominees are Moonlight, Manchester by the Sea, and Monster Trucks.
Fuck yeah!
Everyone's La La Land got no nominations because Monster Truck took them all. Best Supporting Actor, Creech.
I just want the Jim Awards, where like you just go through and Best Picture or whatever, and every single one is just Monster Trucks.
I want to see Jim driving the Monster Trucks. I need to draw Jim just like.
I mean, what the funniest thing is I don't have a driver's license, so that's actually
that makes it better.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Creech is the one behind the wheel.
Oh, thank you, Izzy. That's true.
Creech, take the wheel.
Creech is like Jesus when you're driving home drunk. You just let him take the wheel and hope you get home.
Oh, fuck. Why are we upside down, Creech, you fucking idiot?
Creech has been hitting the bottle.
Creech, what are you doing? Creech turns around. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
We're drunk.
Crashes into like a
the fucking park, the Twin Peaks Mall.
I love that every podcast, it's like 20 minutes of Monster Truck.
Someone should make a graph like how much we talk about monsters. I'm surprised I've kept this joke going for so long. Wow.
Someone's going to compile every single moment we talk about it. It's going to be like a whole podcast on its own, like 3 hours of Monster Trucks discussions.
Yeah,
There's more of the actual film.
But every time Jim brings up Monster Trucks, it speeds up.
Oh.
Every time we talk about Monster Trucks, a Monster Truck gets its wheels.
It's today's the first. Okay, so we got 12 days until Monster Trucks comes out.
Why aren't you guys sponsored by them, for Christ?
I wish we might as well be if we're just
I'm surprised they haven't asked us. Like, we just keep
here's a Subway gift card. Keep talking about us.
They blew all their advertising budget on that one dinky little sign that they had outside that place that sold trees, like the one Jim took a photo of.
Oh yeah, the Christmas tree. Which is funny is after I took that photo, I like the next day it was gone, and I was like, I don't think my Tumblr post took that sign down, but it's funny that like they could only get. I feel like what happened is they could only pay them for one day on a Monday at a Christmas tree.
Yeah, I'll link to it below. But for their advertising, there's just like this crappy little what's that material? Nylon sign?
Yeah, it was a nylon sign attached to like a tent they had there, and it's not a permanent store; it's a Christmas tree thing. So it's like a really crappy sign at a temporary seasonal store. I was like, all right, Mosnter Trucks. All right. I actually saw a bus ad today, and I missed. It went by too fast. I couldn't take a photo of it.
Damn. Yeah, but I guess they just blew their budget, and that's all we have for advertising.
Probably.
They could have saved some money and then just sent Jim free merchandise.
I mean, they should. Why are they selling it? It seems stupid. No one's gonna buy it except me.
They don't want to lose their one potential customer, which is you.
Yeah, I mean, what are they doing?
I mean, that one company, DreamWorks sponsored me to talk about that one app. Like, why haven't they?
Why the app? Because that app seemed really pointless.
The check, they haven't given me the check yet. So
yeah, it's amazing.
But yeah, it's really great. When's my check coming in, you fuckers?
Why not? Like just fucking advertise the show that's on Netflix? Because I know Netflix, the app itself, or like the website or whatever, like it pens out that show. Like no matter what show I watch, it's always like, so you should try out this Troll Hunter show. I'm like, I just watched a TV show about sex. Like this has nothing remotely close to this child-friendly TV show. What the fuck?
I mean, like, we don't get any more movie tie-in games as much as we used to. Like, there's no Avengers, the video game, or Fast and Furious, the video game now. Everything's just like a dinky little app as promotion since it's cheaper and it's free and it gets promotion out faster. So I guess that's why they want this app.
They make more money. Fast and Furious apps make like a ton of money, actually, usually.
There is an app for that?
There was for 6. I don't know about 7, though.
One more question.
Okay.
Toon Trooper, when was the first time any of you watched porn? Just curious.
Oh, here we go.
What? This is like a hauls back to when Saber and I were on the POS podcast. We had a whole one on forest porn.
Forest porn, yeah.
Forest porn?
It's a long story.
It's basically like anytime all these 13-year-olds have memories of finding porn in a forest, and we were talking about like who leaves the porn there, and I think there was like someone I talked to once said when they got to be 18 they were going to buy porn, look at it, and then when they were done with it, leave it in the woods for future 13-year-olds. And I was like who that person is who's like, I'm gonna go buy some porn and drop it off in the forest for young boys.
For young men.
Drop it off as a VHS. Like, they have to work for it. Like, they got to figure out how to play a VHS in 2017.
We gotta go to the Goodwill, Mom, now!
Well, you got to take it a step further. It has to be like a blank VHS with like Scotch tape put onto it with like a permanent marker wrote "best porn ever."
God, I would assume that was like a snuff film or something shady. Like, I would not open up
I'm sorry.
The mystery of just like what's in this blank VHS, and like I always assume the worst. Like it's a freaking snuff film.
No, they pop it in. It's just an advertisement for Mosnter Truck.
Oh my god, we gotta do that. We gotta like do that, throw it somewhere, and just see who finds it and if they upload it ever.
To be fair, I like to think that Mosnter Truck is the best porn ever for Jim.
No, I don't want to. They'll kick me out of the theater. Don't say that.
Fuck.
I mean, all those tentacles. I mean, what can a person do?
I'm sure there's probably there's probably going to be porn of that.
I tried looking it up. There's none yet. There's
actually I can't find Mosnter Truck T-shirts. I keep trying to search for merchandise. Can't find them.
I remember reading a text post saying Transformers are the furries of cars.
What?
It's true.
I guess I can kind of see that.
Speaking of that, so I watched this one video a long time ago. I think this was the first one I watched of like some porn online, and I don't know, it was some girl talking into the camera, and she says, "Come on, you forget. And I was like, whoa there, slow it down, lady. Like, you can't say that kind of language here. It's like, I was insulted, you know? Like, I understand this is like humiliation fetish and stuff, but it's like, hey, lady, have some respect, you know? You can't be saying those
Humiliation
things.
fetish.
Shut up. Anyway, anyone else have anyone's?
About the porn stuff, I remember, like, when I was, I guess, experimenting and growing up when I was a young kid, finding, like, Channel 96, which was, like, the fuzzy stuff where, like, the porn stuff was kind of coming through, and I was like, whoa! I think I saw a boob for a second, and I was super excited about that.
But it was still fuzzed out, like you barely read anything.
I remember one time I found, like, some Dragon Ball Z porn when on the computer when I was a kid, and I was like, "Whoa, it's look at Goku and Chi-Chi, woo!" And I was like, "I want to save this." So I'm like, "Why not?" And I made it the desktop background. I'm like, couldn't change it back, and I was freaking out. I'm like, "No,
fucked.
No!" I spent like the next 30 minutes just frantically trying to trace back my steps. Like, I was actually almost considering why don't I just destroy the computer?
Holy shit!
But I was able to get rid of it. I learned a lot about the computer that day.
That's dedication. It's a sink or swim situation.
I'm scared.
Oh, shut up.
The early days of internet, I think the first bit of porn I ever saw was Flintstones porn.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. With
Oh my god! Because I saw what's the neighbor lady named?
Yeah, with Betty
Betty sucking Barney off.
Yeah. Oh no, they switched off. Like Barney was with Betty.
Shit.
And Wilma was with Barney, I guess. I don't know.
Double cucking.
And or the one with Daphne and Shaggy, and there's this really shitty gif of them fucking. But they stretch out Shaggy's neck, so it's got an extendo neck. It's fantastic.
Oh god, the classic days of porn on the internet with cartoons.
I remember seeing one of Jasmine getting fucked by her tiger, and I'm like, "What is this?"
Okay, I got a porn thing. So back when I got dial-up thing, my friend Jake would just surf the internet. When I'm not a person that can stay up very late. Like, I get tired naturally, so he would just be on my computer because he didn't have a computer at home, and he would just look up a bunch of stuff. And it's usually he played Newgrounds games and such. He'd be like, "So Jake, what'd you do last night?" "Oh, I was a drug dealer, beat some hoes," things like that. And eventually we stumble upon this porn. It's Spanish live action Smurf porn.
Nice.
What the fuck?
No, it was hilarious. It first starts off with just a boy Smurf and Smurfette, and then another Smurf pops in, so it becomes a threesome. Then Papa Smurf pops in, and Papa Smurf basically shoves the other two out of the way, and then just starts doing stuff to Smurfette until Gargamel shows up. Keep in mind, everyone's the same size now.
No.
And the thing that cracked me up the most was the Smurfs were running away, and to speed up them getting off camera, they just jump cut a couple of times, or they're really close and they're really far away, and it's not a camera change, just a jump cut. I couldn't stop laughing at it. And then Gargamel does. But the thing about this porn was the paint they used was not waterproof. So progressively, Smurfette became more and more white.
Oh god,
that's fantastic. There's there's some Tarzan porn I found that was just horribly drawn, and it had just these disproportionate bodies. But the best part was when Jane's dad decided to fuck her, but he couldn't get it up, so he took a stick and he taped it around his dick, and that's how they fucked. That was hilarious to me.
Oh, why? Crap. So is that all for porn?
I didn't get a chance to say anything.
Yeah,
Please,
right,
let's
Pan.
hear it.
Okay, I don't really remember the first time I saw porn, so I'm just going to tell the time my porn was ever exposed. So, well, not necessarily porn per se, but something fetishy, so I guess that counts. But I was drawing in iScribble, which is basically a drawing board where multiple people can come in and draw on it. And then, you can erase it, go on the same board, and draw again later. But the thing about iScribble is it loads up the previous thing, in real time, a sped-up version of what you drew. So all the previous stuff that you drew is like loaded up as like a quick little video, and then it goes to the like point where you where it shows where the drawing is now. So I was drawing with my friend Aaron, and he asked me to draw bondage stuff, and I was like, okay, why not? And I did. And I drew it, and then we erased the board. Haha, good times. And at the same time, I was part of a Save Symbionic Titan Facebook group, because Titan was canceled at the time. So everybody was real beat up about that, and we were growing a community, and we were drawing together. So I asked my friend Tanja if she would like to draw with me, and she was like, sure. The ages at the time were 16 me and 15 her. So we go onto the iScribble board, and I forgot that I drew bondage. And so the thing loaded up, and she didn't even like seem surprised or like disturbed or anything. She just said, "So bondage, huh?" And the thing about the funny thing in hindsight is, I was raised in terms of like porn and all like manner of adult things. I was raised in a huge bubble. Like, side tangent, I saw this YouTube poop where Naruto fights this guy. It was like in the first episode, the Genin he fights in the first episode. But instead of like showing him beating it up, it was a censored like screen, and then like after it shows the blood colored white to show that Naruto like cummed in his mouth. And I was watching this with a friend, and I was like, haha, he got rabies from Naruto. And my friend was like, Nolan, that's not rabies. And I like insisted that it was. And but back on topic, I was drawing like mummification stuff, which is just like people getting wrapped up. And of course, all know me. And I didn't really know that was a fetish or something sexual at the time. So I was like, it's not bondage. And so this 15-year-old girl had to explain to me what bondage was and what fetishes were. And to this day, it's one of the most embarrassing things I've ever experienced in my life.
Okay, just to quote Nolan, a 15-year-old girl had to explain to Nolan what bondages and fetishes were.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You gotta hold your hand. Now, I remember also, when I was a kid, like, going through the internet, of course, and I see these pop-ups, you mean, like, come over to our website, and they'd spell it C-U-M, and I was like, wow, these idiots can't even spell cum right. Wow, what a typo, idiots. And then I learned what the word cum meant.
Oh, and this reminds me, like, I was watching some classic cartoons, and I like on Cartoon Network, like from the 20s and stuff, and they had a character drinking from like a bottle with XXX on it. So I asked my mom, what does XXX mean? Whoops.
Where'd you learn that?
Basically, that's what happened. Because I had to explain to her, no, I was watching this cartoon and they had a drink where it has XXX on it.
I remember asking my mom what the word slut meant, because like, I was like, Mom, what's a slut? And she's like, where did you learn that word? And I'm like, I don't know.
Oh.
I have two stories similar to that. First one, real quick. I thought I came up with the word skank. And so while we were playing a game of tag, I called my sister and her friend as skanks.
Well done.
And they were like, do you know what that means? And I was like, I came up with it. They had to explain to me that I did not, in fact, come up with the word skank. And then the other time...
I have a trademark.
Yeah, I have a trademark and everything. And then the other time, I was watching a Jib Jab video. If anybody remembers Jib Jab, it was a bunch of animations that were geared toward politics. And my dad is a huge political dude, and he'll talk endlessly about how he thinks Fox News is the best, most reliable news channel, and how Bush was a good president, etc. But... so he showed me Jib Jab, and I remember there was a lyric where John Kerry, or whatever his name was, the Democratic nominee in 2008, nobody gave a shit about. So the lyric was, sometimes a brain can, and then pause, come in quite handy. Like, because they were saying George Bush didn't have a brain. Haha, funny. but I thought they meant brain can. Like I thought, like, in my head, brain can was like a thing where you put a brain in, but I didn't know for sure. So I asked my parents, and they were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And then I was like, the Jib Jab video, and then I showed them, and they were like, "Nolan, you fucking idiot, you stupid abortion of a human being." Whoa. These were actual words my parents said to me, by the way. This was not perfectly.
That sounds like a really bad birthday.
Yeah. It was really bad. George Bush came to it, and he tried to read me a book, and then they talked about the Twin Towers. It was a bad time.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all good.
So, is this the end of the podcast?
I think
I feel like we've all been on quite a journey, this podcast.
We've been on,
yeah.
It's 2.5 hours long.
Jeez. We've been on a monster trucking journey.
Yeah.
Shut up. I'm so sick of... Literally, when we all see monster trucks and we all agree it's shit, we never speak of it again.
Yes.
It's just like a war story.
Would it be funny if Nolan likes it the most?
If that happens, I will literally kill myself.
Must have been a good movie. He's dead.
He has nothing to live for after monster trucks. His life has peaked.
Now it's plateauing out.
So, I'm Pan Pizza. Who are you people?
Oh, I was Jim.
I was Nolan. I guess this is the order now.
I said, I'm Izzy.
And I am the guest, Saber.
Yes. And what's your next video, Saber?
Next video is going to be the What Ruined Saturday Morning cartoons.
Fucking tired of seeing all these What Ruined Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon in the description, so thank you.
Take that, you son of a...
Thanks for nothing, Saber. Goodbye, every pony. Fuck everyone. Play us out, Emily and Stephanie.
The rock, the mic, the trouble. I like my coffee black just like my metal. The bass, the rock, the mic, the trouble. I like my coffee black just like my metal. I can't wait for you to knock me up in a minute, in a fucking minute. I can't wait for you to knock me up in a minute, in a fucking second. I can't wait for you to shut me up and make me hit like badass. I can't wait for you to shut me up. Shut it up.